what they can pick up to counter that hero, but somehow they do not want to risk it. They do not want to give it to 27 at all costs. Crux Requiem,
Mhm.
meanwhile, they will of course be taking out something like the Grok or the Hilda up next. They would not want to give that hero away to Rudius. Even if they do give away the Grok, they definitely cannot give away something like maybe Julius's Lancelot or Crisis's Freya. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be the Freya, alright. And right now, I think only the Rome bands are what remain.
Freya, I mean, we also mentioned that elusivity onto the blue side, the first two bands should be a respect band, right? And I think they are showing so much respect onto the Elise just because of the potential setup that she usually is able to provide to. And the thing about the pick that they could have into the XP lane is that if Corey QT is busy on the
Huh.
map, if he is available in all places, the game goes so much smoother for the side of elusivity here.
Oh,
So I
Malala,
think they
guys.
want to have a winning
XNI.
XP lane here, especially against 27. So this is very understandable. And now you talked about it, the roam band should be a must here for the side of CRQ. What do they want to remove? Because Z10 already taken away, and now for CRQ, it's gonna be the decider.
मेरो
I think
फर्स्ट
they
लाइक
shouldn't ban anything at all at
वेलकम
this point. They can
मर्केज
just
ब्रो
contest it,
सबैलाई वेलकम टु स्ट्रिम है
open all the heroes that are into the room,
अँ
right?
के छ
And
गाइस के छ
try to
सबैलाई
get a trade out. Whatever elusivity don't take, they can take it out. So this can be an option here.
I mean, that's exactly what.
के छ केटा
You ban
के छ सबैलाई
away
वेलकम टु स्ट्रिम
technically
अँ
the Basia, the Freya, the Jushin, well and good, but then
वेट
you
यार
are giving away the Yesunshin. That is one of the very versatile junglers, I would say, can
हम
also be flexed into the goal lane right now. So
सो
technically enough,
रोकाइ एकछिन यस्तो
Elucivity
गेम
can
हेरौँ न
still pick up onto the
भर्खरै
Lancelot towards their jungle.
भर्खरै बाहिरबाट
Crux
आएको
Requiem
अँ
needs to
Mhm.
find a way to counter that.
अँ
They might want to go in for the Kalia, the carry combo together with them for themselves, or they might want to pick up their EXP
हेलो
first
रोनाल्डो
and
ब्रो के छ
maybe
गाइस सबैलाई
that
वेलकम है
Sora, of
गाइस
course, going to
स्ट्रिममा
be a flex,
अँ
going to be locked in by them, and the
वेट
mid lane will be a Farsa for now.
Yep. I was really damn sure
अँ
that whoever gets that, the second phase, they will be getting out the Versa. And now, Senju and Faden both play a mean Versa onto the hand, so this was gonna be a most priority pick into the mid side here.
जिम्मा
And
सरस्वती
it's gonna
सबै
be
ठिकै
so
छ
much
यार
better for the side of
केटाहरूको के छ
CRQ here
गाइस
because
अँ
they already sold out their
आज
picks. They
इभिटी
already picked up
भर्सेस
the Yi
क्रक्स है
Sun
गाइस
and Yi Sun
अप्पर
is leading
ब्राकेटको
in
म्याच
this
हो
kind of bursty
राम्रै
meets.
छ डिरे टिम
So
भन्न
very good rate coming through from the side of CRQ
मजा आउँछ होइन
here. Now that they pick away at the Sora, it usually goes into the hands of 27,
क्रक्सले
but
हान्छ होला तर
if Goni God is able to play it too, it's definitely no
युरानस
problem.
भाइसेस
Now we
क्रक
can see the picks coming through. Oh my god, I don't like Hori Guilty on heroes like this, man. Uranus and Grok, it's a very, very solid pick, like solid, you know, combination. But, you want him on a
बकिन
hero
अहिले
that is a good setter rather than just being,
खै यार
yeah, a bruiser.
नखेलेको भन्दा नि
It's
यार
like,
बबलाई
yeah,
खेलाउनै मानेन
maybe they wanna have a good
जोसेफले
gameplay
आफ्नो
and
साथी
not
खेलाउने भनेर
contending. But for CRQ though, what can they
ल्याङ
do?
गरेर थियो
I mean, they definitely do
अच्छा
not
त्यो
want
फाइभ
to
के
hide into this
डायमन्ड
kind of
एयरप्लेन के
draft.
अब त पाउँछ नि त्यो वर्थ
Yisun
छ कि नै
Shin can still be a goal laner. We
फाइभ
never
के
know.
डायमन्ड वर्थ छैन
Yep,
जस्तो लाग्छ
of
मलाई चाहिँ
course. With the Sora, Guinevere is a very
तिम्रो टिमको हाइपरले
stable
लास्ट
pick.
थ्रो
It
हानिदिएर यार
works with the Surge ultimate every single time.
खै यार के
One
भने
ult,
लास्टमा
one
हल्का
markup,
मिस्टेक
one
भयो
valid farm,
भनौँ
and
न
the Farsa would be able to combo it out with the strike blasts pretty well. Elusivity, on the other hand, I think they need to
कति
ban
बजीदेखि
out
गेम हो
maybe the
इन्डिया
Kalia
भर्सेस
here.
नेपाल
That is going to be a very good
मैले
spot
पोस्ट
for
गरेको
them
थिएँ त
to
केटा हो
go
त्यही
in. But
पोस्टमा लेखेछ हेर न चेक
CRQ,
गर
what can they ban? They
हाम्रो गेम
can still
चाहिँ
take
साढे
out on the
7तिर
Lancelot
हुन्छ जस्तो
if
लाग्यो
they want to.
Mm.
They can take out
अनि
on
पहिले
the
Mm.
सुरु
Troy
चाहिँ
for the
सेप्टेम्बर 9 र
jungle,
आरएनटिएक्स हो
yet
तिनीहरूको
and what else?
खै
The
7
jungle
बजे हो कि 6
picks are
बजे हो
going
मैले
to be
बिर्सेँ
so very limited now. The
मैले
Guinevere and the
युट्युबमा पोस्ट
Yahiko
गरेको छ
combo.
त्यता हेर्दा हुन्छ
So
टाइमरहरू
we'll
गाइस
see what they decide to
सबै
do.
गेमको टाइमर
Yeah,
हालेको छु मैले
the thing about Crisis is that I've never seen him on the Yushin, so I'm pretty sure it should be into the hands
कसले
of
हेरे
Julius
हिजोको
rather
गेम
than Crisis. I'm not
इन्डियनको
sure they'll be able to play
ल्यान्डवाला
it right, but the Valentina ban out, it was kind of surprising that
हिजो
Elusivity
केटा
did
2
not pick up the
बजीमा स्ट्रिम
Valentina
गरेको थिएँ
being
म
planted,
हौ
but I also know that
2
Senju
बजे
does not
सकेको
really
हो
want to
फाइनल
pick up the
हिजोको
Valentina most of the
रातिको
time.
2
He
बजे
usually is a
बेस्ट
bursty
अफ
kind
7
of
पुगेर
mix user, so they can try to
2 बज्छ त यार
let it go of that. And now it's going to be a little bit hard to handle out the Sora unless they have a Phoebus onto their side. But looking at the draft so far, the Uranus look like it's gonna be into the hands of Corey Cutie, so that is gonna be another option. There's no another option that they could go for here. So carry bent away by elusivity. They kind of read that out. Crux requirement wanted to go for a bit of a marksman here, so they can actually be the one bending away the cloud as well. So for sure, kill. Do they want to remove another mage or do they keep it?
Yeah, but Nepal was the price. Oh, friendly battle, guys.
Could
Friendly battle.
technically
Tournament होइन
what the
friendly
Kimmy, they
friendly
could take away the
tournament
Kimmy if they
Yeah.
wanted
त्यो
to here.
गेमहरु के को लागि हो
But
फ्रेन्डली
since they
ब्याटल हो
already
गाइस
have the
खै
Ascension, EVT might want to
मलाई नि
tend
त्यस्तो डिटेलली थाहा भएन
towards the
यार
Blue Nox a little bit more. But hey, is that Kimmy? Hey,
इन्डियाको
yes,
च्यानलमा
of
लाइभ हुन्छ
course.
चाहिँ थाहा
You do
थियो
not want to give Shenzhou
थाहा
his
छ
Kimmy. And
Mm.
then Gonigon's Carry and Claude, they will be taken out as well.
Oh.
Pretty obvious choice. That's like really obvious into this
मेरा
draft.
कलेज
They
जित्दा
have
त यो
got
गेम केटा हो यस्तो
Duckfighter.
प्रेडी
The
खान्न
next thing they want would
र खै
might
म ड्राफ्ट
possibly
यस्तो हेरौँ न
be
त
that gold
ड्राफ्ट
laner
हल्का
who
हेरेको
is
छैन
pure marksman. Crux Requiem, though, they could
डायमन्ड
definitely go in for
पुल खै थाहा
something
भएन यार
like the
मलाई
CC here, or even the Lapu Lapu or
Yeah.
Esme if they wanted to, because
the
Uranus Grok both get countered by the Esmeralda. They've got enough of range coming in from the Farsa as well as the Sora,
ड्राफ्ट कसको
knowing
मन
what
पर्यो
space
केटाहरूलाई
the Thunder
क्रक्स
Lightning
कि
form. But
इभिटी
hey, it's going to be a CC, alright.
CC was the most valid choice we could see here because of the lack of the presence of the
50k
marksman
डाइज
now.
ओके
But
50k डाइज भन्थ्यो
I'm
मलाई त थाहा
sure
छैन
if Syracuse is ready to play in this kind of draft because
डायमन्ड पो
they
हो
are not
प्राइस
gonna be
पुल
having
ओके
that much of a
इन्ट्रेस्टिङ
killing hero, they should be dependent on the damage output coming through from the
यो
Farsa
चाहिँ म
or
सोधिहाल्छु
Ride.
नि यार नभए
And
मसँग
Faden
यार त
plays a
छ
good carry
प्राइस पुल
too,
क्या
so I mean carry as in having the most damage, so it can be a possibility that they wanna put all in onto this Farsa here. But for elusivity now, the mage is definitely gonna be harder here because even if you go for the Eve, the Farsa is gonna be outranging quite a lot, and there's still chances for Gato to come through here for the side of Crux Reclaim too,
This comment will be
because we
full
never know
racist
what is
in
gonna be
India
coming
versus
here.
Nepal.
But they still went for it. Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. It's gonna be
यदि
Cryokus
यिनीहरू चाहिँ
onto the
कास्टर
Paris
मन परेन
rather than the
केटाहरूलाई
Yishun and the Eve
म कास्टिङ
still. And
हान्नु
I
त
feel
खतरा
like the Eve is kind of a forced pick
अब
here for
बढ्दैछन्
elusivity
हाम्रो
because
यहीको
they don't have any other options for the what kind of mates that they could go for here. So last pick coming to a
मसाले
Crux
लेस्टरकै
Reclaim,
हान्छु
this is gonna
भनेको
be the
ग्याङ दिन
lead. A
टप 3
direct counter for the Grok
डायमन्ड
pick
आएपछि ल
is kind
सब
of good
सब
here,
गिभअवे हानिदिन्छु
but I would
मलाई
prefer,
डायमन्ड चाहिँदैन
the
सबै
Gatot. Not
सबै
gonna lie, but
बाँडिदिन्छु मलाई
I think
डायमन्ड
it's just
चाहिँदैन
because of the presence of the Harriets that he just wanted to go for the
20k
KW.
पर पर्सन टिम मेबी टिम होला 20k
I
पर पर्सन
mean,
त लास्टै धेरै भयो
Crux Requiem, technically they have a
केटा
little bit of a
टुर्नामेन्ट
better draft in
जित्यो भने
terms of
सबै
team fight
डायमन्ड
this time
बाँडिदिन्छ है
around,
त म
but EVT, they've
तिन
got
चार
their
हजार मात्रै राख्छ होला
comfort
म
in the jungle as well as goal lanes. So they
कास्टर
will
त कास्टिङ गरेको हो
technically
कि
have the better
फाइट
scaling of
गरेको
the two
गफ
teams.
गरेको खै
CC,
यार
she
दुइटा केटी
definitely
कास्टर छ
scales
अब
well, but
केही भन्दिनँ म त
against a
केटीहरूको
Harriet,
बारेमा
you
केही भन्दिनँ
cannot
है
burst down a Harriet with a CC or a Sora into the late game because he's going to keep regenning those shields every single time he
नेपाली
dashes
टुर्नामेन्टमा चाहिँ
into
केटा
the domain.
फर्स्टले
So CRQ needs to watch out
48,000 पाउँछ
and
भनौँ न
don't
डायमन्ड
let the game
फर्स्ट
like
पर पर्सन
go
9,000 10,000
ahead
जति
of the
डायमन्ड
12-minute, 30-minute mark. But
केटा
other
लेट्स गो
than
है त
that,
फर्स्ट
look,
गेम
2
हेर्थ्यौँ
out of
स्क्रिन
the
मिलाउनु पर्यो
18 gentlemen, two
लगाएर
amazing
लेट्स गो है त
teams, two amazing
इभिटी
drafts,
भर्सेस
and
क्रक्स
now
कलेज
we
जित्छ
will
केटा
be
भोटानुमा है
witnessing the upper bracket
हेरौँ है त
semis
ड्राफ्टमा
as
यसमा हेर्छन्
game
यहीँको के
1.
गुनिबर खेल्दै रहेछ गनी
Game
गन
number one, here we
सिसीमा
go.
ओके
Let's see so far.
भनेपछि
Into
डल
the
फाइटर होइन
into the mid side, the presence is
डल
definitely
फाइटर
going to
रहेछ
be big
क्रक्सको
here. Look at the Raido.
यताबाट
3 point.
मार्क्सम्यान
I
पनि
mean,
छ
he's going to be
हेरिस
taking
पनि
out a
छ
little bit here and there. But onto the mid side, when you focus onto the Khalid and the Farsa together, they will be actually the one who have the better clearance in comparison to the Grok and the
केटा
Eve. So
यस्तो हेर्दा चाहिँ
they
मलाई
have to
ड्राफ्ट
be
चाहिँ
very
होइन
decisive of where
इभिटीको
they
मन
want to
परिरहेछ
be
है
starting and using
तर
that good
केटाहरूले
clearance
ड्राफ्ट नभए
together
नि
that
हान्छ
they
होला ढुक्क
have and try to disrupt onto the
इभिटीको
mid side
ड्राफ्ट
for
चाहिँ
as much
मन
as
परिरहेछ
possible.
भन्नु
Raido flicker.
मऱ्यो अरे
That's going to be a
कोरीले
very early
कोरी
flicker,
प्युरिफाईमा रहेछ
but
नि त
at
नभए
least
किन
he
फ्लिकर हान्ने
survived. So
सोचिरहेको थिएँ
that's
म
going to be
Oh.
27 actually steals it away. He's going to hit that level 4 much before even
27
possibly
क्र्याप
the
आयो और
Ascension
4
at
छिटै
the
पुग्छ
30.
मिलियन खानु
So
पर्दैन
good
लास्टको
advantage for
टडलको मिलियन
CRQ with that, but Faden is getting hard pulled. His
फेडेन
lanes are getting countered and he
ओके
might as well
ओके
have to flicker out, but
मिडमा त
he
हान्दैछ है
can
इभिटीले हान्दैछ
possibly use up
यो
that
इभिटी टिम
ability
पनि
to
राम्रै हो
save.
केटा
So technically,
टप
he
टप
will
3
be
टप
able
5 मा
to
पर्छ भनौँ न
save
इन्डियाको
that flicker
राम्रै हो
first time
इभिटी
into
नि
the game. Yahiko is yet to, he's gonna hit it right away, and so will Julius. So both the junglers are at their
कम्पिटिसन चाहिँ
level
बढ्छ होला
4
इजी त हान्न
respectively.
सक्दैन
CC
गाह्रै पर्छ हल्का
has the mana shower now, can
राम्रै टिम
move
हो
in
इभिटी
for a
नि
possible engage onto the mid side, but Shenzhou needs to be careful completely.
Ooh.
Cautious.
Okay, nice try, nice try.
Yahiko into the early stage of the game, the Guinevere
Pick up
is
handla
kind
the
of
grok
very
lai.
squishy, but then when he is able to get Lena onto the spatial migration and get the Violet Ray Crim on, he have enough damage to take
More
him
la
down.
Cory
Look at the
more.
jump though, Cory.
More,
You
more,
got to be
Cory more.
careful.
Nice, nice, nice. Pick up, nice.
No matter how careful you are, that early game burst from the Thunder form, as well as
What?
Yahiko's
Oi?
Violet Requiem, they are going to
More, nice,
serious.
nice,
Look
nice.
at Julius being
Wow.
Rudius ne
impaled,
मारे
and
lovely है
another
lovely
Violet
यार
Requiem comes
टोटल नहीं
in
पाए तीन
from
जना ने मारे
Yahiko.
नाइस है
Definitely
good shit
securing that kill. That's going to be an early
ईप को
invade into the
फ्लिकर
blue
नहीं
buff.
जान्छ होला
Corey Cutie not yet level 4. Major
ओह फ्लिकर
disadvantage
हान्ने
for
मान्दैन त ईप त
BT right here.
ओए ईप
They might be suffering, but are they going to come
नाइस
out
ठीक छ
very
गाइस
low?
नाइस
But
ट्रेड यार ब्लू बफ नि पाए
thankfully,
केटाले
they managed to secure that blue buff and will be able to take it back alive.
The way they were actually targeting onto Kurikuti into the start of that game when they were trying to go for the turtle fight was definitely on
ए
point
एकले
here
नाइस
because
हाने
when
नि
he is very healthy, they will not be able to contest onto it. He's gonna be very, very disruptive onto their
रिप्ले
composition
कत्रो
too,
लामो लाग्छ
and
यार
they
आजकल
understand
त
it. So
किन
now
हो
going all in onto the early game, Uranus is a bit, it's like it's valuable
तर
here
यो
because they
लाइक
do have
इभिटी
first
को
two
हल्का
wins.
राम्रो
The
प्लेयर
first
भने
half kind of
क्राइसिस
does
हो
well against the
क्राइसिसले
Uranus
राम्रै
too.
खेल्छ
So I think they understand it too, and then they were
हाम्रो
just
गनी
trying to
गनीले
go the
ग्याप हानिदिहाल्छ
lead
ढुक्क
route and get that objective in. And of course, they were able to steal out onto the blue buff as well. Yahiko, he's always been found in the opponent jungle, no matter what kind of heroes he's onto.
लाइक
So
ग्रक
this is gonna be
ग्रक
giving
राम्रो
them
प्लेयर
a
त्यस्तो
very, very
हानेकै देखेको
comfortable
छैन यार
8
इन्डियन
draw,
टु
3
नाइन
ace
मैले
score already, and 1k goal lead into the hands of CIQ.
Right now, we can see the goal lead. Definitely 1.3k in favor of CRQ already.
भोलि मेबी
Good
भयो
early
भने
lead
एसटिएलको
for them,
अगेन्स्ट
but
लाइभ हान्न सक्छु
so
होला यार
far,
मै लाइभ
Crisis
हानिदिनु
has
पर्ला यार
not been
भयो
defeated
भने हेरौँ
even once in a head-to-head goal battle
फेरि लाइभमा
between the
हल्का
two goal
सिरियसै
laners.
हुँदैन क्या
I
फेरि
feel like Crisis
त्यही
might
भएर
be
नि हो यार
slightly ahead of Gonigon right here, except
Mm.
for that CC having the turtle advantage onto him. But other than that, the Harriet might just be able to play that better. Oh no, but Corey Cutie again gonna
Oh,
be caught out in
मऱ्यो
that
कोरी मऱ्यो
fight. But
नाइस यार प्युरिफाई
Purify
नि बेट
will
भयो यार
not be
त्यसको
able to save him from the wrath of that
सोरा
Thunder
सोराको
Form.
फ्लिकर त छैन
And
ओइ कत्रो ड्यामेज सोराले
47
उल्टे मारे
still
जिजी
finding it
जिजी
out.
यार
what?
ओ
Damage
माई
considerable
गॉड
onto Julius.
के
Are they
ड्यामेज हो
gonna
त्यो
finish off
सोराको
Rudius? Meanwhile, Shen's the positioning is
नाइस
so
यार
off
नाइस
to that fight. He will
लभली
fall
प्र्याक्टिस
down
हान्छ
to
केटाहरूले केटाहरूको लाइनअप
CRQ
स्ट्रङ
with
देखिरहेछ
a
अब चाहिँ
4 for null
सबले राम्रो
trade
खेल्छ यार
as
केटाहरूकोले
well as the turtle into their favor.
The turtle again, 2 kills again into the favor for the side of
रोम चाहिँ
CRQ.
को हो नि
And if you have
भोलिको लागि रोम
noticed, the rotations up
भ्याम्पायर
on
बोय
top, they are focusing
अरेले हान्छ
more
त
on
बल
giving a
गर
lot of
अरेले
goal
राम्रै
into the
हान्न चाहिँ
hands
साँच्ची
of 27 rather than the
ल्यान
bot
हुन्छ
lane side.
फाइनल
Again,
ओइ ल्या
Cory.
फेरि मारेर कोरीलाई
He is getting
अनलाइन हो
pushed
केटा
a
सबै
little
टुर्नामेन्ट अनलाइन
too
हो
much from that Sora and
नेपाल भर्सेस
Guinevere,
इन्डिया
and I
हुने
think
हो
that's why the
नेपालको टिम
EXP
नेपालसँग जुत्दैन
rotation from
इन्डियाको
the
टिम
junglers
इन्डियासँग जुत्दैन
matters so much in
फ्रेन्डली ब्याटर
games
भनौँ
like these. Like you know that the jungler, when it's a jungler,
है
something
दुईजना
like a Yisun Shin and then a Harriet, they
स्पिन
are going to focus the goal lane.
What
All
the
in all, oh,
fuck,
but the
Rudius?
Wow.
trade, no. Every single Grok user in the past week has missed out on their tech charges.
त्यही
So
कास्टरले
this
भन्दा
has
चाहिँ
to be one of the
एभ्री
winner ones.
ग्रक
Oh,
युजर
but
मिस
baited
आउट
with the
देयर टेक चार्ज
flicker
भन्दै
shows why that far size
के
usually
ग्रक
panned out. Mid
ग्रक
lane
त
tier
के
1
भने
will
03
fall
03 है
into hands
युरेनस र
of
ग्रक
CRQ.
अनि
BT
जङ्गल पनि
being able to
030
play
रहेछ
a
त
wipe out as early as
ए के
the
हो त्यो ग्रक
5-minute mark of the game
त्यसको ग्रकको
was
अल्ट
not
यत्तिकै लाग्थ्यो क्या त्यसले फ्लिकर नहाने भए बरु यार
Bad for the side of elusivity now, and Julius being
कमेडी
dead
दियो यार
all the time among all of those. I think it's definitely not gonna be
ग्रक चाहिँ
the
लभली
best
रहेछ
pick
केटा
forward
हो
as a Yisun since 03 is a
मन
skill.
पर्यो
And I mean, he is his KDA, and he doesn't really have the farm. He's just level
03
70 and level 10
03
Yahiko
है
already. And this
तीनजना
is the Guinevere we
इभिटीको
are talking
साइडबाट
about. Guinevere, he is ahead onto the goal as well as
I
the
don't think it's
levels.
top 3 team
And they
lol
can't catch up
ए
to
यस्तो
this,
हेर्दा
and
चाहिँ
they
दिँदैन
are
है
not
टप
getting
3
out the
टिम
farms here. And we can see onto
लाइक
the base
पहिलाको
as well
पालि
from their
मिथिक
side
सोडाउन टप 3
only
भएको थियो क्या त्यही भएर
built
मैले टप
away,
3
and
भन्यो
they are weak onto the
अहिले
goal
त
as
टप
well
3
as
हुँदैन
well. I
अहिले त
think
टप
for
मेबी
Yahiko, he can actually go for
5
the
तिर कि त
brute
टप
force
10 तिर
too,
होला
but he might eventually go for the wings first and then
सोल
go
कि
for the
सिआर कि
ice.
अभियसली
That
सिआर
will
कि हो नि केटा हो
eventually be a good start for their side. Meanwhile, for Faden, he have the anti-heal already a little bit ahead of Senju. That is also why he was hitting much more than usual onto the first
निकल
side. The
देखाउने
fact
होइन
that
यही हो
he was
केटा हो
able to get Senju again and
म
again
त नेपाली
because of
जताततै हो
the
नि मेरो सपोर्ट
outrange
त
potential that he have onto the feather
अँ
airstrike is why I hated
ओए
the
आम्मामा
here.
प्युरिफाई बेट गर्न ट्राई गरेर होला
exactly
Very
what
heavy
he
run.
will be so caught out. And no matter how hard he tries to
त्यसै
position, there's
रुडियसलाई
going to
त
be
मन
fade
परेको
in.
थियो
He
अहिले
uses up the feather
रुडियसलाई त
strike onto him. There's going to
मलाई
be
केही
the
भन्ने
Sora
भन्छ नि
ability.
रुडियसलाई म
Defending
गाली
there,
दिँदा दिँदा
jumping all
थाकिसकेँ
on
क्या
him
केटा हो
every single
स्ट्रिममा गाली
time.
दिँदा दिँदा
And
त्यही
27
भएर केही
is
भनेको छैन
finally
क्या
bringing the
अब
Thunderform
अल्टी
in.
मिस
He's
गर्दा नि
so
म
open.
हाँसिदिरहेको
He's
छु
so fearless onto
क्या
that
धेरै
Sora. It
भइसक्यो
really says the amount of confidence that CRQ has.
फेरि
Another
फेरि अल्टी मिस
RWM, another
Oh,
tech charge, missed. Arudius gets taken down. Array still zoning people
रुडियसको एउटै
away.
अल्टी छ यार
27
wait.
goes in for the flicker, goes in
27 ले त
for
अति
the
हान्दैछ त
double
यार
right there.
याईको पनि
Finds two
खेल्दा
and
चाहिँ
will get back
4-0 छ
out
केटा हो
safely. Corey Cutie kinda
गर्न स्ट्रिम
just
टुमोरो
caught out
आई डोन्ट नो यार गाइस
all by
मेबी 50-50
himself with nobody to
गर्न नि सक्छु
frontline
नगर्न नि
for.
सक्छु
And
यार फिक्स
Crisis,
चाहिँ छैन यार
despite being a 0-1-0, they have
बरु एसटिएल को
absolutely
अगेन्स्ट गेम छ फेरि
no farm to make up for. And
हेरौँ
unlock
अब गर्छु
Requiem,
गर्दैन केटा
Purify. Sora will be using up the Thunder form, but yeah, he
वेट
doesn't
वेट भयो
quite get
रनसको
all the stacks he would have wanted. And technically,
रुडियस र
Shane is going to be back
ओ
in
माय
the
गॉड
game.
एक किल पनि पाएको छ नि त यार
Every
इभिटीले त
goal
व्हाट
has
द
been into the
फक
favor of
बटै हान्दिरहेको छ यार
CRQ. Right
केटाहरूले
now,
त
they have 10k gold into their hands, and
0-15 मा छ यार
mostly it might be into the hands of
कति खेल्दैछ है
27
क्रक्सले
here
केटा
because
हो
he's been everywhere all over the places,
क्रक्सको
and
गेम
they
प्ले
were
इम्प्रुभ
they
हुँदैछ
were
यार
able to
धेरै
lean out
इम्प्रुभ
onto the
भइरहेछ
top lane side, which is the XP, and it make it easier for him to rotate out too. And that is not the best case scenario for the side of
गर्ने
Elusivity
गन
Esports here. Onto the other side for the airstrike.
ओए डु यु
Very
ओ
big
माय गॉड
engage
नाइस
coming
सिनर्जी
in.
यार
Yahiko gets a double
सिसीले
knockup
सिसीले
with the
अल्ट हानेको
facial migration
अनि
as well
याईको
as the
फेरि फलो
bite
पाइहाल्यो
ripple,
नाइस इन्गेज
keeping
थियो
them in the air for so long. And
0-5-0 छ
right
यार
now,
रुडियस ओ माय
EDT at
गॉड ब्रो
0, Crux Requiem at 17 massive kills. The goal lead, 9,000 in their favor, and the Lord coming up in 30 seconds.
6 भएर चाहिँ 4
Right
भइरहेछ
now, right
रुडियस
here,
चाहिँ सिआरक्यू
all
जस्तो
EDT needs is
सिआरक्यूबाट
a
खेलेको
miracle.
हुनसक्छ है
And
केटा
I'm
हुनसक्छ
telling you, that miracle
रुडियसलाई
is
कति
not
पैसा दियो
something
सोध्नु
Sora
पर्यो
can
जस्तो
come
है
by.
Yeah, it has to be
क्रक्सले
someone from the side of CRQ who should be the one drawing the game. And unless they don't do that, I don't see any ways for Elusivity to have that much of a comeback right now because Crisis,
राम्रो
even
खेलेछ
though
यार
he's behind onto the goal, he
मेजले
needs a
पनि
bit more farm.
अरिले पनि
They have
राम्रो
only
खेलेछ
the
यार
Stylum side, yet he's needing like 2 or 3 items more to try to hit out the damages output that he needed. But bottom lane though,
Yep, that's that coming on.
न
Taking
यार
out
केटा हो
Crisis immediately.
इजी हो
The
यार एकदम त
spatial
बटै खाइछ
migration and the Violet Requiem
ओए
combo
एकजना नि मरेन
every single time manages
एक
to
किल पनि
catch
नदिनु
more
भन्ने बस
than
आज यार
one. And 27 just frontlining it all this time with the Surge
ओ एक किल
ultimate.
त
And
हान्थ्यो यार
CC
इबिटी त
got
यार
taken out of
बिल्लै
the
हुन्छ यार यस्तो
Uranus.
भने
That's the farm gap that CRQ has managed
त
to
आइडेन्टिटी इज नट
maintain
द्याट गुड
despite. I don't know, I mean,
खै गाइज अब
hey,
भोलि
half
नि
their
थाहा हुन्छ
players
यार
are out of land, half their
भोलि
players
आरएनटिएक्स र
at
सेप्टेम्बर
the
9 को छ
camp possibly,
अनि
if I'm not wrong.
yeah.
And
हाम्रो र
they are
एसटिएल को छ होइन
so like
अनि स्लिप टाइड
divided
र
right now,
टिडिपी
and they managed to pull off something like
भोलि
this. Immediately,
गाह्रै पर्छ होइन
enemies
एसटिएलसँग
just
चाहिँ
take a
इन्डियाको
little bit
नम्बर
more
1 टिम हिजो
practice to
जितिहाल्यो
get it on, but
त्यहाँ बटमा
it's
वान
a
नि
long
मारिछ
Oh
जिजिआर
one.
no.
CC is winning it out, but the airstrike zone people
कस्तो झ्याउ
away,
लाग्दो यार हेर्नु त्यसरी त
and Uranus is getting
0-20 छ
ulted
केटा
down with
0-20 यार
9
कस्तो
lamps
बट
in the
हानिदिरहेको छ
game
केटाहरूले
right now.
Yeah, this is the way you try to counter under the Uranus, try to focus onto him into the early stage of the game, make him impossible to have the tankiness and the sustains that he's needed, and
वारेक्स
just
बल्ल
try to
बनायो
shove him
सोराले
into
ओके
that lane.
भर्खर बनायो
And
त
now
नि
it's
10 मिनट
completely useless for the side of Elusivity here.
टाइमिङ कति हो
Corey is
टाइमिङ
able to do everything here, but look at the
7
jump.
बजेदेखि होला 7
Yep, that's gonna
मैले
be Array
पोस्ट
taking
गरेको छु
out
हेर
the
न केटा
blue spray
युट्युबमा
onto Corey
त्यो पोस्ट
Cutie.
हेर्दा हुन्छ
The feather airstrike blast
Wow.
hitting Crisis way too hard. Those were just 2 blasts, I'm telling
Yep.
you, and the passive. 2 blasts and a passive, and he was nearly gonna get taken down almost
अति
if he
खेला
did
चाहिँ
not
केटा
have that
क्रकले अति
dash
खेला
right
छ यार
there.
यो
But he was
इबिटी
at
नराम्रो टिम होइन क्या तर नि क्रकले अति
0-5-0
हानिदिरहेको छ यार
in
जेरो
this
ट्वेन्टी वानमा त
situation.
अति यार
It's
अप्पर
either a
ब्राकेटको
bad
गेम हो क्या
day he's
यिनीहरू
having, or CRQ is just way too dominant into this game.
I feel like the dominance coming through from CIQ has to do with the farming pattern coming through from Yahiko into the
त्यो
start
ग्रक
of the
खेल्ने
game where
टिमहरू
he
हारिरहेको छ
was
क्या
able to
आजकल
steal
मैले
onto the
नोटिस
bot
गरिरहेको छु
lane.
होइन
They get the
इन्डियामा
turtle,
ग्रक
they
त्यस्तो
get kills
पर्फर्म गर्नै
again and
सकिँदैन
again.
यार
This is the way to
लाइक
try
मैले
to,
रोम खेल्दा त मैले त खत्रै
use your
प्र्याक्टिस हान्थेँ
early
यार
game
ग्रक
advantage, and he
फुल
was able to put it
फुल
so
डेन्जर
well
प्र्याक्टिस हान्थेँ यार
that
मेरो पनि
the
ग्रक यस्तै
goal
थियो
lead is
तर
so
प्र्याक्टिस
much
गरेपछि
harder for
चाहिँ
the side of Elusivity to have to come
खतरा
back from.
मजा
Look
आउँछ
at
यार
the
ग्रक
feather
खेल्न
airstrike already hurting them a lot, especially for Julius as well as
लर्डले इनिप
Crisis.
त
They
पाउँछ कि
cannot play around
पाए
that
इनिप
feather
पायो होला
airstrike no more. They have to defend to the top lane here. Even
वान एचपी बाँच्यो
so, they do have a good scaling hero, but they are unable to
अझै
get out
माथिबाट
onto the
वेभ त
goal here.
आइरहेछ
And this is the way for CIQ to have that plan. They just don't want to go for the late game.
Exactly what. No late game and 27 this time. Stunning
आमामा के हो यस्तो
people
र त
inside
यार
their own base,
Oh
and
wow.
Federax are gonna be coming in as well. Shenzo barely makes it out
जिचे यार
alive.
गाइस
Julius takes a hit and is gonna be caught out very, very low. But here, CRQ have the waves coming in
Crux got
from the mid
expensive
lane
experienced
all
player.
over
Oh
again. The
Yahiko?
zone is going to be in
What?
Oh
play
freeze
for
or G's
Yahiko!
यार.
The man, the myth, the legend. It gets two people. That's
अरे
going to be
फाइनली
him
मर यार.
right in the base. I'm going to chunk
एक
in
किल
play
पाए
as well
EVT ले खुशी
as
से
the
EVT के
wild
लागि एक किल पाए
Requiem.
हैन.
Julius
जेरो मा
and
त लास्टै बिल्ला
Shenzi
हुन्थ्यो यार त्यही
gets
भएर.
taken down. Ray will sacrifice his
Oh my.
life. Crisis
क्राइसिस
strike.
मर. Oh my god,
Oh,
nice
but
ult यार.
he can. He doesn't have the flicker. And the Mother Airstrike
फायर मा
will
छ के
take
क्रक्स फायर मा छ
him
यार.
down. And the damage going to be coming in from the Thunder form of the ultimate as well. But here, Team Crux Requiem have full access to the base.
TDP कसको
CC
टिम हो?
melting down Corey
TDP
Cutie.
अ
The base is
काई
all
काईहरुको टिम
theirs.
हो. काई
Give them the
डरलामी
chance to
जीहरुको.
push in.
ओइ सोरा
They might eventually decide to go for that.
ये
That's going to
कुफ्लिकर
be
बेट भयो.
placed onto the jump here. Not much of a pressure created by the side of Yahiko just yet, but they have took what they wanted there. They took out two
केटाहरुले त
turrets
केटी
already.
काट्दा
The
त नछोड्ने
inhibitors are
भयो
all
के
gone.
भन्ने
The
हो.
base is completely wide open, and there's so much of a weak itemization coming through from the side
चिल
of
बस्न केटा
Elusivity already
इग्नोर
because
राम्रो
they
न यार.
don't have the right amount of gold that can help them go through all the
नेपाली
clips. They
नेपाली
are going
कास्टरहरु भन्दा
fully
त
all
राम्रै कास्ट
in
गरेर
to go
जस्तो
for the
लागिरहेछ
later
मलाई
part of the
चाहिँ.
game, but they are unable to do so. Why? Because Korikuti has been consistently taken down by the side of CIQ. They have been way focused onto him. He is going to be the sole frontliner that we have seen so far, but he's unable
पाण्डाहरु
to
छैन
do
यार
so
केटा
because
हो.
he's going to be always melted down. And
नेपालबाट
when your
टिडीपी
frontline is melted
79
down,
र
the
होराइस्पोर्ट
backline is
हो
always going to
तीनजना.
be in trouble here. And the fact that CIQ have a good range hero is saying a lot right now because even if Corey is able to try
मिडबाट
to
वेभ
go for
आउँदैछ
those zone
सकिन्छ होला
protectors,
ढुक्क इजी
he
सकिनु
is
भने हौ त.
not able to sustain it out.
तर
The
एउटै
fact
छैन.
that Aiden is always going to
नो
be
वे डिफेन्ड
focusing
त
onto the
हुँदै हुँदैन
backline
केटा
most of the time,
100%
especially
सकियो.
Shenju in Crisis. That is not the best case scenario for the side of CRQ
मिसफिट छैन
for
छैन यार
elusivity
केटा हो.
already. And now
होरा
will be
लाइनअप
merging into the blue
होराको
side. Even though it's not an evolved form yet,
गन याइको
there can
बब
be a possibility that
बब
Yahiko
भ्याम्पायर
might
र म.
land a good jump and they can end the game.
अल त फ्रिज गर.
Okay, so and somehow we know Yahiko for his fanny, but the way he has been performing on the Guinevere in the recent seasons, it's absolutely
ल सक्यो ल
insane.
केटा
Oh,
सक्यो.
and there we go. That's gonna be another engage coming in. Doesn't really get the knock up onto
Do
anybody, but CC
लभली
over
यार
here
लभली.
finished off.
अरे
That's
मात्रै
why
मरे दुईचोटि अरू
base
त
is
कोही
gonna be
मरेन.
open again, and now he gets the jump
बटै
in.
खायो यार
He
यिनीहरूले
will
त
find
थत
himself
इभिटीले
into
के
the turret
पर्फर्म गरेको
damage.
यार जिसी.
The amount of damage he's dealing on a tank build is
ढुक्क याइकोले पायो
surprisingly
एमबिपी
high.
ढुक्क नै
But
ढुक्क नै.
hey, let's just say that the setups coming
होराको
in from
जङ्गलको
Yahiko,
होरा
the damage from
होराको
the
जङ्गल
backup from the far side of
उनी हो.
CC, just
याइको नै हो.
absolutely insane in this game.
It was
सेम हो केटा
that
सेम हो
was a
होराको.
very perfect combination coming through from the side of
कहाँ स्ट्रिम
CIQ already.
हुन्छ
They know
स्ट्रिम
that whoever go for the
इन्डियाको त्यही
initiation, the feather strike is always
इन्डियाको
gonna be
च्यानलमा हुन्छ.
available. But funnily enough,
इन्डिया
it's
स्पोर्ट
not usually
एसोसिएसन
Doom or 3 to 7
ESFI
who
मा
go
हुन्छ
for
केटा
those kind of sets. It's usually
स्ट्रिम.
Yahiko because of course it is a Guinevere who is already well farmed. He's not gonna be dying
केटा
from that
बटै खाइरहन्छ
easily.
त बटै
And we
खायो यार.
have also the
नेक्स्ट गेम
winter
हान्न
champion
सक्ला त
already
इभिटीले.
where he can use with the knockup, and we can see how much of a good
इभिटीले
start he's
त
been able to
लास्टै
provide for the team. And
जोत्कै
the
हाने यार
follow-up
जोत्कै हाने केटाले
almost
त.
all the time being coming through into the hands of Aiden. That was a good call, a good synergy coming through for their side too, and they were always able to end out, kill, obliterate the one who have a who he have a good
सेप्टेम्बरले
jump
जित्ला
in.
त
But
आर्यनटेकसँग.
elusivity, they don't have any kind of jump,
सेप्टेम्बर
and
9ले
their early
6
game
चान्स त छ
got
जित्ने.
messed
किन
up
छैन.
really
हान्न
bad
सकिहाल्छ नि
here,
केटा नेपाली
especially on a
पनि.
hero like the Yishin. You don't even want to lose even one of
यस्तै
your
हेर्दा चाहिँ 50-50 लाग्यो
team,
मलाई
and
सेप्टेम्बर र एआरएनटेक्सको म्याच.
he wasn't having the best of him first
एसएटिएल
round
र
in
हाम्रो
this
पनि
game.
50-50 जस्तो लाग्छ होइन. अनि
Definitely not, because
अर्कोको
I
अर्को
think that
स्लिप टाइट र
Array and
टिडीपीमा चाहिँ
Doom have to
टिडीपीको
play a
हायर चान्स छ
major
जित्ने.
role into this game. Like
मेबी
the way he sold
70-30
people
टिडीपीको.
out and the way they created pressure onto Corey onto the
इन्डियाबाट चाहिँ
EXP,
नेपाल हुन लागेको हो. यस केटा हो मैले
it's
पोस्ट
so
गरेछ भोलिदेखि हुन्छ होइन.
astonishing because I know
भयो भने
many
मैले लाइभ
teams
पनि गर्न
have their
सक्छ. मैले
best
गर्न
players
हुन्छ
back in the
ESFI
base,
मा
but
हेर्दा
this
हुन्छ केटा.
one,
ESFI मा लाइभ हुन्छ
like the way
अफिसियल्ली.
how quickly the 27 just played onto
ESFI
that
च्यानल
reception
स्पोर्ट
as well
फेडरेसन इन्डियामा
as
हुन्छ केटा
that
हो
rest of
होइन.
the people dodging
मैले
that
लिङ्क
stun and
हालिदिएको छ पोस्टमा. पोस्टको कमेन्टमा
these
हेर्दा हुन्छ.
mistakes coming in from Rudius onto that Grok.
वाचपार्टी गरौँ ल सेप्टेम्बरको
It's
गेम.
technically a
हुन्छ
redraw
होला
because
भयो भने
Requiem
वाचपार्टी
has
गर्छु.
been making the same
Yeah,
mistake
yeah.
with the flicker.
वाचपार्टी गऱ्यो भने चाहिँ
Again,
भोलि
so
म
we can't really blame him on that.
लाइभमै खेलिदिन्छु
But
होला
I
एसएटिएलको अगाडि
think
पनि.
that the draft was not the issue, it was the execution. CRQ did it
लाइभ अन गरेर छोडिदेऊ न अरे.
double the bet, like
हो
twice
र.
better than what ET did,
ल हेरौँ है
and
त.
they just managed
भोलि
to
है
win
त.
it out so very easily.
I feel like,
सोलभन्दा
you
त हो
know,
र
it
धेरै
would have
राउन्ड
been
छ
safer
एससिटिएलको
to go
प्र्याक्टिस
for
धेरै
a
छ नि त केटा हो
BO5.
हाम्रो अहिले
You really
केटाहरूसँग
take to the hands
केटाहरू
of
बाहिर छ अनि
practice for them,
केटाहरू
but the
अर्को टिमसँग
heritage,
प्र्याक्टिस
they
गरेर छ हामी
already
त्यस्तो
Exactly.
have the
प्र्याक्टिसै छैन
mutation.
अहिले
But yeah,
That's it.
there was a lot of people
तर
they
लेट्स
could
चाहिँ त
they
भोलि
were
के हुन्छ
trying to attack, right? And
भोलि
the
मम्मी
fact that
सर्भरमा भयो
Warrior
भने
2 hasn't been able
मम्मी
to
सर्भरमा
do
हुन्छ होला
anything
मोस्ट
because of the
प्रोबेबली
lack of itemization, which
केटाहरू
means
बेङ्गालमा
lack
छ
of
उनीहरूको
stun.
एमएस फेरि
He
60 जति आउँछ
have became a
बम्बईमा हाम्रो
non-factor
50
here. He's
अनि
always
इन्डियन
been
टिमको
marked
वान
down and
डिजिट आउँछ
getting
नि
taken.
त्यति
Oh, look at
अस्ति
this
हुन्छ इन्डियन टिमलाई
beautiful jump coming through from Yahiko, man. And he leaped.
कति
He
बजीदेखि हो
leaped here. He did
7
not even
बजीदेखि हुन्छ
die.
यार
He
गाइस
dashed away like he did not commit a beautiful crime there.
र मैले
But I feel
पोस्ट
like it was
पोस्टै बनाएको छु नि
amazing
पोस्टमै हेर
synergy
न
coming through from the side of CRQ here to
भर्खर पोस्ट
damage
ट्याप
out the
परेको थियो अति हाने
majority kills.
तिमीहरूले हाने कि
You know, to
तिमीहरूलाई
be
चाहिँ
fair,
फर्काएको
Sergio, he might have, even
बट हो
if they
गोस्ट
should
ट्याप आयो त
try to contest onto the first side, either they have to ban it or put it into the hands of Sensor because
Exactly.
they are equally good, man.
I
Oh,
mean,
यसको
MVP.
एमबिपी अभियसली
MVP,
यहीको
this
नि हो
is
यहीको
like
केडिए कत्रो थियो
undoubtedly,
मलाई
unarguably,
6019
one of
ब्रो
the best Guinevere gameplays I have seen right
डिजर्भ
now
एमबिपी
in
डिजर्भ एमबिपी ओ
tournaments.
के हो आइटम त यार
But hey,
रिडक्स
he
सिटी
deserves that
कन्सन्ट्रेसन
22% damage, still 18
स्टारलियम
kills,
फ्रिज
15
ओराइकल
killing,
वाट द
and
के हो यो आइटम त डिफ्रेन्ट हो
99%
त
team fight participation. That speaks volumes. And of course,
ओरिजिनल
as
लाइभ
much as we can
ओरिजिनल
see,
लाइभ इएसएफआईमा इएसएफआई
that
सर्च गरेर केटा युट्युबमा
these
त्यही हुन्छ
people
अँ
are just absolutely insane right now. 28 kills versus 2
उसुटालाई बट भन्छ
kills.
त जिस्केर
2
भन्यो भाइ हो नि त आफ्नै
in a
आफ्नै
nearly
भन्दा नि होइन
15
चिनेको
minute
भएर
game. That is kind of messed up, and EBT needs to come back from this.
We need to find that EVT style. Of course, we know that they love to go for the ball. They love to
हेरेमै
go for
केटा
the
हो
late
भोलि भयो
game.
भने लाइभ गर्छु
But
होइन
yeah, you
भयो
know,
भने
of course you want to
भएन
do
भने
that, like find
उतैबाट
a
हेर
good
न
composition
उता
that will
इएसएफआईबाट हेर
help
न
you do that. And I feel like that Eve pick was so forced. I mean,
र
it's
गर्न
good.
सक्छ
It's
होला
good
लाइभ
of a hero
हेरौँ है
pick,
त
but it kind of got forced so much that there's no way that
एन्टीको
Eve
अरेन्ज
is
खेल्न
seeing
मजा आउँछ
or having a
एन्टीको
peaceful
माटीसँग हुने
argument
हो
with
भोलि केटा
M2.
हो
There's always a dive that can
फाइनलमा त
come
माटी
onto the
झिके
back
त
lines
यार
and always the damage coming through from
साग हाने
Fade
थियो
and onto
माटी
the
खेल्ने
Versa
थियो
too. And Senju, when he is not
अहिले
active on
यहीको
the
बेस्ट
map,
इन्डियन जङ्गल
like
यस गाइस
when he did
फर्स्ट
not get his early game,
फर्स्ट इयर बेस्ट
EVT
जङ्गल
have
हो
a
इन्डियाको
doesn't really have a good game for
कसै
those
टायर त जङ्गल
days.
प्लेयर होइन र
So
गोल्ड
the
प्लेयर होइन र
targeting
जङ्गल
that
के
they
खेल्यो
did onto
खै
the
यार
base
मलाई
was
थाहा भएन यार
perfectly on
त्यो
point
त
here for the side of CRQ. So let's see for game number two though.
अगर
CRQ
हो
they have the
लाइभ
first pick now.
हेरौँ है
Both
केटा
have
भोलि
their
भोलि थाहा
server
हुन्छ यार
veterans. They are
ओ
in the
गेम
same
स्टार्ट भयो
server,
त
so
यार
there's
नाइस है
no way
मलाई
we'll
यस्तो
be
कुर्न
using
चाहिँ
that.
झाला छ ल
The elusivity they need to draft
वाइ
it
मैले
now.
भन्ने जति भनिसकेँ केटा हो
CRQ
भोलि
though,
अब मैले लाइभ
what
गरेँ भने
move they
एसएफआईबाट
wanna
हेर होइन
make? They are
अब
on the blue side
भोलि
now.
लाइभ गर्छु गर्दैन थाहा भएन
I mean,
लाइभ गऱ्यो भने त्यही हल्का
just remove
सिरियस हुँदैन भनौँ न
the
लाइभमा
irritating rumors, take away,
गाइज लेट्स गो है
let's just say,
गेम टू
take away
क्रक्स
Julius's
भर्छ
stuns,
इबिटी है
take
त
away Crisis's Freya, or take away
यी
Shenju's
बट
Yuki.
हान्छ क्रक्सले
That's a
फेरि बट हान्छ
staple
उसलाई है
pick that works. But hey, they decide to take out the Baxia and the CC. I mean, they did
Okay.
not want to give
अँ
Crisis
अँ
the CC either. He is just
True,
really
true,
good
true.
at that, as well as the Yi Sun Shin.
सिटिएललाई हान्नु नै
Elucidity
पर्ने हुन्छ
themselves
मसरा
will
विने
take
बित्तिकै मस
out the Freya
हुन्छ
here,
फुल ट्राई
and
गाइज फुल
with
ट्राई
the Yisun Shin gone, I feel like the Grok or Kalia might be a good
केटा
first pick.
कसले जित्दा
It
त
could
गेम टू
work
है
out
त
for them.
भोट
They could
हान्नु होइन
also try and go in
यस्तो गेममा
for the
ध्यान दिउँ न
Versa,
हल्का
just
हल्का
give Fade in his comfort, win that mid
Yep.
lane matchup. Or worst case scenario,
अँ।
go in for something
यसपछि
like
कसको
the
गेम छ हो
Esmeralda EXP
यसपछि
first
कसको
pick.
गेम हो र
So we'll see how it works out for either of these teams. And Fanny Man, of course, respect man to it.
कम्युनिटीमा पोस्ट गरेर ल
Not
लाइभ गऱ्यो
much in
भने
the way of
केटा
late
डिस्कर्ड
game
जोइन गरेकै
maturity
लाइक
from his end.
युट्युबमा पोस्ट होइन कति गर्नु भनेको
Bro,
क्या
this is the problem
म
with the
डिस्कर्डको
fan
लिङ्क
users,
पिन हानिदिन्छु
right?
गाइज
It's
डिस्कर्ड
a
जोइन गर्दा
must
हुन्छ है
ban.
त्यहाँ मैले
They
सबै अपडेट
already acquired
युट्युबमा
the
बढी
ban
भन्दा
here,
धेरै
so
अपडेट त्यहाँ
they
हाल्दा हुन्छ
can
क्या
draft so much
त्यही
better
भएर
because
डिस्कर्ड
they
जोइन
the
गर्दा हुन्छ
one ban
गाइज
is
को
already gone,
डिस्कर्डमा छैन
and it's like undoubtedly like four bans already left. So yeah, Kosuke will be abusing this power that they have now. Sora will be the first pick here. Elusivity
पिन
though,
हानिदिन्छु त्यो केटा जोइन
okay, a direct pick that they want to counter the Farsa with a GTN here together with Hilda. So they are kind of forcing Faden to play out the Farsa against this hero, but
त्यही
I
हो
don't think he should be
पिनै
falling
गरिदिनु
for
त
it though. The Z10 clearance is
एकछिन है
good,
गाइज
very,
एकछिन
very
अँ
amazing into the mid side. The Eve might eventually struggle with the two picks that the side of Elusivity already have, and Rudius, a bit of a comfort for him too. There's a lot of damage already into the mid side and utility onto the mid chance. So now CIQ. What can they prioritize here? They have the Sora already. It should be going into the hands of 27 again. I have no doubts about it. But against the Hilda, do you want a Grok?
वेट है केटा
I
यो फोनबाट भएन
personally
यार
wouldn't want
ल्यापटपबाटै
to
गर्नु पर्यो
because yeah, the Hilda can just melt you away before a team fight even begins, and that is not the best of situations to be in as a frontliner. CRQ though they decide to answer it with the Sora
डिस्को
Gold
सर्भर पिन
Alice
हालिदिन्छ
Ace
केटा हो
combination
जोइन हाल्नु
over
डिस्को
here,
सर्भर
and
Oh,
Alice can very well lock down that Zacian into the backline while
लल आइसक्यो
not
27
taking
का
any
एलिस
damage
कति छ
herself,
यार
because
एलिस
technically enough Zacian has very minimal damage into
सेप्टेम्बरको
the
लाइनअप
early
थाहा
game.
छ
But this
सेप्टेम्बर
time around, I feel
लाइनको
like
लाइनअप
Elusivity will definitely
को
be
छ भन्दा
banning away that Farsa
गोसुटया छ
right into the
लिलिम
first ban of the second
ओमेगा
round
फ्लो
phase. Because yeah,
अनि
even if you have a Zacian,
रोकै हेर्नै
he's
पर्यो
done
यार
with the
के छ यार
60
नामै
second
बिर्सेँ
ultimate
मैले
cooldown.
yeah, yeah,
And
true, true, true.
Farsa is barely at a
थाहा
25
छ
second in the early game. So that's gonna be a
वेट
very difficult mid lane matchup. But hey, if you notice, it's a Corey
Mm.
Cutie signature combo
गोसुटया फ्री
champion plays
जेनी
with
क्युटी लिलिम फ्लो
Alice.
है
So Elucidated will definitely
सेप्टेम्बर
taking
9 को
away that
लाइनअप
lane.
Wow, I did not expect the Tamus to come this early on, but this is what they usually do when they are onto the red side. So let's trust him that with that. And Elusivity though,
ओ
I feel like
थामुस
they are setting up
के
a trap
इन्डियनहरूको
to
थामुस त फेरि
let
वाइल्ड हुन्छ
CRQ
यार
pick the first, but I wouldn't mind if they ban it away because the Hilda can handle it. But with the purifies or the flickers and the wing by wings, the Farsa usually have a lot of survival chances. So they don't wanna take any risks here. They can ban it away if they wanted to. But the thing is,
याइको लियो मोड है गाइस
they
याइको
should
लियो मोड
they do
अनि
have chances to
16
pick
गोल्ड
up
बनिगनको
marksmen
16
here, right?
अनि
But
एक्समा चाहिँ एलिस रहेछ
CRQ,
है यता
they will. I feel like they should be banning out those two marksmen that's been already good.
रुडेस चाहिँ
So
हान्नु पर्यो क्या
maybe
रुडेस कत्रो
one.
हग्दैछ
I
यार
don't think
रुडेसले
Faden's that much of a good Kimmy player, but it's a respect man, I would say.
भोरा लाइनअप भोराको लाइनअप
Exactly so. And right now, Kimmy, of course, taken away. What
बब
else can
याइको
he really take
गन
away here?
भ्याम्पायर र म
Joy gets taken away. Lancelot quite possibly gets taken down. What else is really
Hmm.
left
याइको
here?
फ्यान त अलवेज भ्यान अभियसली
Joy,
ब्यान भइहाल्छ नि
Lancelot,
यस्तो खेल्छ यार फ्यानी
Consumption, take
यस्तो
away
पागल खेल्छ
Hansa,
फ्यानी
Oh
Suyo,
yeah,
everything.
Haya.
All that works. Maybe even
ढुक्क
take
भएन
away
केटा
the
ढुक्क भएन
Guinevere if you want to. But yeah, the
Oh yeah,
Guinevere
yeah,
is
yeah.
still open.
Guinevere.
That's a pretty good choice. But let's see though. The
जोई
question
ब्यान
is,
वाइसेस
what
ब्यान
does
यताबाट
EVT ban?
क्रक्सकोबाट
They take out the Lunox as
जोई
their last ban.
वाइसेस
Do
सिसी
they
पाक्छ
take
केटा
away?
ड्राफ्ट रेडी गर्न
Do
ट्राई
they
हेर्छु म
take
ड्राफ्ट
away
Oh.
रेडी गर्न ट्राई
Farsa?
हेरौँ
Yeah, I feel like they're just setting up for the Farsa here, because of the Hilda and the Zetan. But then again, it kind of comes down to the skill set and the
अब के
calls,
ब्यान
right?
त जोई
Like he will be very
वाइसेस
free for a bit, and then that is enough for a
वेरी
Farsa to play
ब्यान
around with. So now that they have the Elise, they don't mind letting go of the Claude. That also is a good
इबिटीको
thing.
पिक छ
He can
जङ्गल र
decide
किलिन
on
बाँकीनाले
which
गोल्डेन होइन
one they can. For elusivity, if they wanna bite the bullet, they can play out the Claude here. Just kind of play it
मेबी
safe
सिसी
to
लिन
have
सक्ला
a
कि
good
गोल्डमा
lane into the early stages,
सिसी
build
र
the
के छ
fights into
अर्को
the later
ओपन
part of the game. Because I feel like they still need damage, right? Either
सिसी
magic
र
damage or
हायबुसा
physical damage.
हायबुसा
If
त
Crisis,
खेल्छ खेल्दैन
no,
फेरि
no, no. If Julius wants his Lancelot, I wouldn't mind it actually because it's been a long time that he's been seen on the comfort, and the Yishun did not really work out. The Bucks are
टिडिपीको
always
लाइनअप
gonna be
टिडिपीको
banned.
लाइनअप
But like you said, the
के मलाई यादै
Guinevere
भइरहेको
can
टिडिपी
come through here, and they can
काई
take the
छ
marksman here. They
अनि
still go for the
एज भयो
marksman, but
एज भने
they're
रोमर
setting
बिग
this
ड्याडी
up
भन्ने
so badly for the
अर्को
marksman here for the
डरलामिची
Claude here.
जेट सिम्बा
This is the reason why they did not ban it
अनि
away.
मेजमा को थियो एकछिन
So the mates though, Crux,
फेरि
do
हेर्नै
they
पर्ने
want to go
भयो
for the Farsa
अह
or a completely different
मेजमा
hero
को
like
थियो
the Lunox?
Yep, and that's exactly it. The Lunox will
स्यारोन
actually be a
स्यारोन
pretty
है
good
मेजमा
choice here, but
स्यारोन हेज जेट सिम्बा
I mean,
डरलामिची
it's
र काई
Faden. And if
Yeah,
Faden wants,
Faden.
he can play the Farsa into any kind of draft. And here, it works. If they can burst out the Claude early on with the stuns and the Feather Strike, I think that the Farsa would be a pretty good choice if he can just
That's one.
position well. And Faden's positioning on the
क्लड नि
Farsa
ओपन
is
रहेछ त
very
क्लड
good.
गुड पिक हो यार
Yeah,
क्लड
yeah.
भवा लाग्छ यार मलाई अस्ति
CRQ though, that is their only.
Mm,
हाइलस र लुन
Hylos
safer
and
choice.
Lunox. Safer choice. They
हाइलस
just want to play it
ओके
safe, not
हाइलस
Mm.
give away any risk to the side of elucidity. While EVT for
ब्रोडकास्टिङमा
their
हुन्छ नि
last
गेम
pick,
ओ
that's
माई
gonna be the
गड मैले
jungle,
10,000 चोटि
can go
भनिसकेँ
in for the
यार
Lancelot here if they want
एसएफआईमा
to.
हुन्छ
It's a
गाइज
Bengal server
स्पोर्ट
game.
फेडरेसन
It's
अफ
not gonna
इन्डियामा
Oh,
be
there we
हुन्छ
go.
easy, but hey,
लाइभ
it's the Guinevere we were talking about.
बिस्सरी हो
They are just
हदारचोटी
making out the
भन्छ यार
safer
केटा
choices, man. And the fact that, you know,
लभ फर
we
डेभी ए
we
केटाहरू
were talking about the first hour rather than the
रोक
Lunox here is
रोक
because
केटा रोक
Crux to
चिल
Crime,
चिल
even though
चिल
they don't have killing hero, but they have the early game, they usually does really well.
नि
So
एउटा
they
अर्को
don't
कास्टर
need
त
to go for
डर
late
लिएर
game most of the
बसिरहेको छ
time.
त
So this is why
त्यस्तो
we
नि गर्नु
kind
पाउँछ
of prefer the first hour. But against this comp, I think they are just setting up for the first hour to come to, and they did not fall for
कोर्स
it. And
वान
the
इन
Lunox
वान
is
टिम
with
त्यो त यार
100%
दुईटा घोडा है
recharge. And the
लियोमर र
fact that the
हाइलस
Lunox can actually have more damage than the Claude when it goes in a 1v1 situation, this is
भोलि
already
तिम्रो
a
आलु
good
हेर्छु भाइ
setup coming through from
प्रोसिनमा
the side of
नहेरेको
CRQ.
धेरै
They
भयो
did really, really well
हुन्छ
onto
हेरौँ
the
है त
drop.
पिक
But
राम्रै
it's
भयो
gonna
भने म
be
आर्डर
into the
दिन्छु
hands of the Guinevere, right? Julius, if he is able to get out onto that early game,
त्यो
not let the
ड्राफ्ट
game
गरेर
go through like
नदेख्ने
that
हो कि के
free
हो त्यही
into the
मान्छेले
hands of
पिक हान्छ
Yahiko
अरूले
like
नि
it did into that first game, because that was
त्यही
hard
त्यो
to
जबसम्म
watch.
स्विच हुँदैन
A Guinevere being farming
देखाउँदैन
on
होला
your,
गेमभित्रै
I
हो
mean, you're
देखाउँछ
farming on
उसमा
your creeps and you cannot really do anything about it. Yeah, not anymore, please.
केटा लेट्स गो है त रोके स्क्रिन मिलाउनु पर्यो यार फेरि
And
प्लिज
with
प्लिज
that, welcome to the land of Dawn, ladies and
गाइज
gentlemen.
अब
This
गेममा
is going to
फोकस
be
चाहिँ म कमेन्ट
CRQ with
पढ्दिनँ
CVT
मोडरेटरहरू
Game
छ भने
2.
कमेन्ट रिप्लाई
Upper
गरिदिनु
bracket semis, a best of 3, and CRQ stands at match point.
के
Very
छ
well
भन्दा
enough, if they win this game, they
दुईटा
are
घोडा भयो
moving into
क्रक्सको
the grand finals
दुईटा
already.
घोडा
And if
त्यसो
Oh.
भन्ने
CRQ
कमेन्ट क्या
wants to avoid facing the absolute land demons waiting for them into the lower bracket, they need to find a way to go in for that tiebreaker in the game. But let's
लोवर
see
ब्राकेट
what
आयो भने
happens
गाह्रै छ
here,
है इबिटीलाई
because this is just gonna
हामी
be
लोवर
massive
ब्राकेटमै
late
बसेको
game
छ
aggression with already
Mm.
गडलाई
winning
नि लोवर
on the
ब्राकेट छ
side of CRQ.
आरएनडिएक्स नि लोवर ब्राकेट
So
छ
Aiden.
ओ माई गड लोवर ब्राकेटमा त
Yep,
पर्छ
a
क्या डेन्जर
characteristic of Aiden to be caught out there. Against a healer, you might have to be very careful. Of course, you are a Lunas who have a ways to survival, but that starts only at level 4, my dude. You cannot really do that, and he did not use out the flicker. You know, this
ओइ
guy
क्राइसिस
rather wants to die. You know, he wants to die rather
ओए
than waste out onto the flicker most of the
हन्ड्रेड
time,
छ त
and that
क्राइसिसले
might just bite him in the
ठीक
back
छ
most of the time. But Rudius, though, able to give a little bit of vision here and then a winning goal lane into the hands of Crisis too because of the Claude, of course. He's going to be having the better range in comparison to Gone onto the Sora here. Rudius, I think Doom is doing a really good job in trying to drone them away, right? If the Hylos wasn't here, I think Gone could have been
क्राइसिस
dived upon.
मरे क्राइसिस यस्तो बेला अड्किन्छ छ ओहो के भयो यो
will be low before the
क्राइसिस
third
मर्यो
game, but I do
नाइस
not see
नाइस
any kind of contest coming in from the side of Crux Requiem. They are just gonna be ignoring it again.
एलिस
The
मर्छ
ladder
र
rank
मर्दैन होला
advantage
कत्रो
comes in
ट्याङ्क
for
यार
Julius
ओइ
this
बाँच्यो
time.
एलिस
But oh hey, Face
माइन
Salad
रोडियसले
almost
मार्यो
made it out alive, but now
ओइ रुडियस
Rudius
बाँच्यो
able to
है
get out of that
के हो
situation.
हान्छ क्या
And
रुडियसले
Elusivity, they choose not to invade. This is something CRQ did in the previous game. They
गेम
went for the
इबिटीले
mid, they
हान्न त
invaded
हान्दैछ यार
and got that lead. So EVT didn't exactly do that here.
को मरेको लुनक्स र
Finally showing some signs
एलिस
of life here for the side of Elusivity. They are looking like Elusivity that we know. But onto the bottom lane side, I think Crisis got taken down when he was trying to go
टु
for a little
रिपर्सको
bit of
टिम कस्तो टु
aggression onto
रिपर्सको टिम
Gone.
बबाल
Yeah,
लागिरहेछ
that was
मलाई
a good rotation coming through from the side of CRQ, especially into the hands of Doom here. But
टु
now
रिपर्सको
he
हल्का
cannot go in onto the goal that he
मेज चाहिँ
needs here
हल्का आई
because
डोन्ट
of
नो
the
है
fact that they
मेजको
take
बारेमा
down.
चाहिँ
And
अरू चाहिँ मलाई
Rudius
पर्फेक्ट
being
लागिरहेछ
so aggressive, he wasted out onto the ultimate here from Gone, but it's still gonna
दुइटा
be
इम्पोर्ट
fine
छ
because there's still time for the Zola to
इन्डोको
come through, and I don't think Goni will be
जङ्गल र
rotating
एक्सपी
out that
अनि
early on either. Onto the XP lane
गोल्डमा
here
कायल
against the Ellies, the
रोममा
tower is definitely going to
उत्यो
be winning onto the lane here. So looking at the lanes so
तिमी
far, I think Crux for Crime, they are losing on both lanes, especially into the mid
गनको
side too.
फ्लिकर
They
गयो
need the
बटमा
level 4 power spike to come through on the side of Aiden here. He need to have these items and get out the damages done so that they will be able to put one down from the side of Elusivity before they start for the team fights.
I mean, late game is definitely a hope for the side of CRQ because that Lunox can technically just burst down the Claude with two bursts from the Chaos Assault. But the amount of pressure being created on the EXP once again this game around, it's kind of a deja vu of the first game, but this time it's
टोटल 20
EVT
सेकेन्ड आउँछ
taking
केटा हो
that lead.
टोटलमा के हुन्छ
Heroics
हेरौँ टोटल
jungles
कन्टेस्ट गर्छ होला
actually
यसपालि
was there for
केटाहरूले
EVT having a 1k in their favor,
एलिसको फ्लिकर अल
but
त छैन
CRQ can recover that. But the major factor remains Crisis. He has that late game potential which nobody
जति लेट पुग्यो त्यति
has.
गाह्रो हुन्छ
So at
क्रक्सलाई
the end of
किनकि
the day,
मार्क्स
it's
छ
going to
इबिटीको
be a
साइडबाट
Lunox versus Claude showdown for the late game.
सेकेन्ड टोटल नै भ्याउँदैन होला याइको ट्राई गर्छ भ्याउँछ क्या याइकोले
Look at that,
Wait, wait,
Come in.
man,
Julius will be
man.
securing it right away. The Fury
More,
of the
more,
Phoenix
more.
is gonna stun
Elis go
people
3 man
down in
out.
their places. Alice gets an amazing setup onto
Bounce
three
ki?
people with Throne of Ruin, but he's gonna be
Elis
caught
more.
out all alone.
GG.
Violet Requiem comes in with the passive. 27 will fall. And Crux Requiem
Gone?
will be on the back
More,
foot
nice,
for
nice,
now.
nice, nice, nice.
1-1
In case.
takes down a Julius on the mid
I
side,
think, oh,
but
nice है ठीक है
Crisis
ठीक है
already
hyper
dealing
more
massive
यताको side
amount of
bro
damage with the Blazing Duet will find his way
तर I think it's
back to
still good
his
trade for
lane.
EVT
But
total नै
instead,
पायो
they decide to
Elis
push up
पनि
mid
मर्यो
side because it's nearly
good
5
trade हो
minutes and
EVT
the
को लागि
turret
चाहिँ
shields are gonna fall anytime soon. And
एक्सिममा
that's
थाहा
the
ठिक हुन्छ र
point of it
Oh,
all.
okay.
Rudius just
एक्सिममा
trying to zone
ठिकै
Yahiko
भन्दा नि
up with the
इन्डियनहरूले
heal up,
थामोस
but
ट्राई गर्छ तर
thankfully
मैले चाहिँ
he
त्यस्तो ठिक
had
लाग्दैन
his retribution
थामोस
there.
एक्सिममा
1K gold lead onto the hands of Elusivity here. This is looking good, so good for them. But
ओइ नाइस
Senju
फ्लिकर बेट
have to
भयो
flicker away. Doom might be trying to go for the chase, but they have to be fine. At least the brilliance
अब
already
नेक्स्ट
caught by
टाइम यो जेटीले पिकअप
Faden,
गर्दा
so that
राम्रो
he'll
हुन्छ
be able to
फ्लिकर
survive.
पनि
But I
छैन
feel like
त्यसको
this is gonna be a good start for the side of Elusivity here. They can try to go for those
ओ
one
नाइस
advantages. But
जेटिल मर्यो
Senju,
नाइस
what?
पिकअप
He
यार
got caught?
गन
I think that was just a misposition coming in from his side.
नाइस है
But
नाइस है
let's just
ल
say
लिड
it's a bit
लिइरहेको छ बिस्तारै
unfortunate
लिइरहेको
right
छ लिड
now because you do not want to like
अरे
you
अरे
have the
मर्दैन
Violet Requiem
उल्टै
already
रुडियस
trying to
मर्यो
revitalize this time. He's
कस्तो
going to
जेप्पाइ
be
त इन्गेज गरेको
just
यिनीहरूले
enough
भर्खर
for him to
इभिटीले
survive.
लाइक ड्यामेज
Meanwhile,
डिलर
Rudius is
बिना
the one taking down the damage. Oh no,
यहीको
Yahiko!
Oh,
You do not want to go in
okay.
that far because Thamus is gonna be there
What
trying
the
to take him
fuck
out. Julius tried to go in for a setup. Yahiko will be caught
जेडेनको
in
अल्टले
his
बचाइदियो
phantom
यार
steed,
एलिस
trying to get.
ओइ 4 म्यान अल्ट
Oh,
एलिसको
but the setup from 27 on the 4
जिजी यार
people
अल्ट
with the throw over your win. He definitely gets it all, but Gory Cutie will find one. 2 for 2. Alice gets one. That's gonna be a
स्टिल
2
इक्वल
for
ट्रेड भयो
3
यार
into that fight.
If only there was so much of a half HP coming through into the hands of Yahiko, I think that could have been a set of the time and a really
पब्लिक
good
सेटअप थियो
wipe out.
एलिसको
But there, the good peeling coming through from Doom as well onto the high was trying to save
दामी
his team
सेटअप
a
थियो
very
यार
long while. And then I think he put out the
अति
Phantom
मिठो
Steed just to have that hybrid defense that he usually have onto the Leo mode here. And I think it really did well though. But good said, 27. I love it when Elise's plays like this, man. It's
जति
so
लेट
good to
त्यति
go
गाह्रो है
in for
केटा हो
endurance onto the
क्रक्सलाई
backline most
जति
of the
लेट
time.
त्यति
And
गाह्रो
Elise definitely will be able to work it out. Gone and gone, he doesn't really have the damage even though he was
क्रक्सको
trying to
ड्यामेज
go into the
कत्रो लाग्छ
backline
यार
most of
लेट
the time.
गेममा
I think it did well, but then again, Elusivity, they are
क्रक्स लुकिङ स्ट्रङ
just,
एज फक
they
त्यही त
are not
क्रक्सले
behind
लास्ट
on wincing. They
इम्प्रुभ
are
पनि
the
गरिरहेको
ones
छ क्या
actually ahead onto the goal
ला
here, onto
ओ
the turret
ठटरल
so
नि पायो
far.
होला
And
पायो
Rudius
होला
is onto
केटाहरूले
the
ठटरल चाहिँ
top lane too, just trying to clear it out. Look at John.
नाइस जोन यार नाइस जोन है नाइस जोन
Definitely a very good
मर्यो
one
करी
for
मर्यो करी
now,
मर्यो
as
Wow.
far as we can see. And again, the Fury of the
उनीबार
Phoenix
Corey?
tries to save Corey, but he's not going to be making out alive.
ओए
But this
ओ
time,
यही
the
ओ
Ah.
Alice
नाइस
is
यार
not going to
नाइस
be
किलिङ
able
स्प्रे
to
3 किल
find
पाइलु नक्सले
anybody from the throne of
तर
ruin,
लिड
but
ल्यायो
it's
केटा
going to
लिड
drain down
लिइसक्यो
a lot of resources to force them to back off.
इभिटीको
And
लास्टै
now,
ब्याड इन्गेज थियो
Alice
यार त्यो
cannot
लास्टै
have the
ब्याड
God
इन्गेज
of
भन्नुपर्छ त
Sustain, and Faden and Yahiko can actually,
यो
contribute to the
गुनीबटले
Yeah.
damage
कस्तो
here
जोतको
without
खेल्दैछ यार
even
यो
having to worry about taking care
इभिटीको
of
जङ्गल
themselves.
That's what. And now Faden, I think if he is alive, as long as he is alive with the short ultimate cooldowns that he have, for quick come they can actually go for any kind of fights that they wanted to, because this is
तर
definitely gonna be
केटा
okay.
को
One step
नयाँ
is
छ
gonna be enough for him to take it
केटाकेटी
one
हो
down.
को
That is the
नयाँ छ
Ruin as
मेक
we are
स्योर टु
talking
लाइक दिस
about.
स्ट्रिम
He's
गाइस लाइक
already
हान्नुम
taken out the
सेयर हान्नुम है
corruption.
गाइस
He's
सब्सक्राइब
already
हान्नु
level
नबिर्सनु
9, and Senju, he
फेरि
is
5
on
के
a
पुग्नु पर्छ
hero
केटा
like
हो
a utility. This is a not the kind of his play style, but I think it
5
will
के
work
सब्सक्राइबर
well
पुग्नु
with
पर्छ
the
छिटो
team ups that they have so far. So they are just trying to go for a top lane though.
गर्छ एलिस ओ कत्रो ट्याङ्क यार एलिस
Engage onto Alice this time
नाइस है
around.
नाइस
Of
है
course, he's gonna bait it out
तर
and
फ्लिकर
go
बेट भयो
back with the little bit
रुडियस
of teleport he gets. But again, the Fury of the
ओ
Phoenix
माय
will be
गॉड
able to
रुडियसलाई
find
हेरेर
one. Is gonna
बिचारा
miss
यार
his Surge Ultimate as
रुडियस
well.
3 किलमा
But
छ
luck is
ओए
not with.
फर्स्ट टाइम
It
देखेको यार
did
रुडियस 3
slow
किलमा
them
मैले
down for a bit, and they technically could have gone in for an engage,
देवीको
but better
एक्सेन्ट
not to go
यति
in for
देवी
that engage when you do not have an EXP laner into the fight.
कास्टर
And
हो
that's a
ओके
good amount of discipline coming in from the side of
Yeah.
CRQ, and EVT just needs to regroup and bring back the early game advantage that they had.
The thing about Crisis is that he's been free farming for the whole game so far now, and even if you look at the
क्राइसिस फार्म
level
त
2,
गरिरहेछ
Gonigon is gonna be actually behind on
हेरौँ
team
के
2,
गर्छ
and the fact that
क्राइसिसको हातमा छ
Elusivity
यार
was
यो गेम
trying to put all in onto the hands of this
भोलि पर्सिको
Crisis
मुड
onto
मेरो
this squad
एसएटिएल र
is definitely gonna
बटुवाराको
be
म्याचमा
saying a
डिपेन्ड
lot.
गर्छ
He's gonna be the one
यार
who
के
will be the turnaround of
हो
events,
र
and then he needs
होइन
at least
होला
5 items to do that, and that is not gonna be
ओइ
that
नाइस
easy
जोन यार
too. But Doom
भाइले चाहिँ
onto the
तर
mid side,
छिटै
I
अल्ट
think
हानेन
he's
र
taking them away, I presume. Yeah.
Lord Boss गरे बल्ल Boss गरे.
He's gonna be trying his own, then that's gonna be a massive knock-up coming in from
Nice,
Polygon.
nice. Lord
Yahiko
Lord
gets the
पाए.
retribution. Rudy is gonna
Oh.
take in a lot of damage. Leomord will definitely be chasing them down. Crisis trying to deal some damage to
Crisis
the
को
base
zero
movement, but
damage
there's
लागिरहेछ
so
यार. What
much
the
of
fuck?
tankiness and sustain coming in from the side of
Team
CR2.
Crisis का
A
damage
lot
लाग्नु
need
पर्ने
to
हो त के
group
छ यसको
together
item?
for his bullets to actually deal the damage
Master
to
of
the
Hello
single person.
बाबु ब्रो
And
भन्नुस् न हजुर
Elusivity
भन्नुस्.
will be giving away that Lord, which is gonna charge down the mid lane.
I don't understand why Crisis had to put out the sprint there because for Crux it's kind of a
के छ
no
क्लाउड
brainer
item
that they
हेर्नु
would
पर्यो यार.
not go for the
Infinity आएको
fight
छैन
after
यसो
the
तर
Lord take
फार्म
here,
त
look into
क्लाउडको
build
रहेछ
over.
है.
He's not
7000 मा छ
productivity
क्लाउडको फार्म.
just yet, so it's
Oh.
kind of very aggressive of him to try to go for the blazing duets directly. He could have gone for the setups
7000
too,
फार्म यार
but
वाइल्ड हो त त्यो त.
apparently I think they will be able to have a good clear, so
अहिले
they are
चाहिँ
not
अल्ट हान्यो.
dependent on
गुनिभर
direct
मर्यो
Crisis
गुनिभर
to be
मर्यो.
able to farm bottom lane.
Yep,
मर्यो
that's
होला
gonna
मर्यो.
be
नाइस.
Julius taking quite some amount of
ओइ
damage, but so will
बाचे
Fade
लुनस
and
बाचे ल.
uses the brilliance. Alice
नाइस
saves
नाइस नाइस.
him. That setup was a life-saving
क्राइसिस
factor, but Crisis trying to go in for Fade, and right there
क्राइसिसले
he
किल पायो
will
यार.
get the
डबल किल
shutdown,
पायो
but
क्राइसिसले.
he's gonna be caught up very low as well. That's gonna be a double for a Claude. Major advantage being gained by
ठिकै छ टरेट
Elusivity
पाइरहेछ
in
केटाहरूले.
that
ठिकै छ.
fight. Two for
तर
none. I
सकेसम्म
think
छिटै
two
इन
for
गर्नुपर्छ यार.
one actually, and they
Yeah.
also do not lose many of the
भोलिको
important turrets. They just
म्याचेसहरू कुन
decide
च्यानलमा
to
होस्ट हुन्छ
retreat
नाम भनिदेऊ
for
न.
now, which is going to keep them alive into this game for
भोलिको
much
च्यानल
longer.
कुन च्यानलमा लाइभ
This
हुन्छ?
should become a problem for the side of Coach Raccoon right now. They should not
ESFI मा
go
हुन्छ
off
है.
this Claude no matter
स्पोर्ट
what the
फेडरेसन अफ
circumstances is
इन्डियामा
going to be.
हुन्छ.
He shouldn't be feeding a
रुडियस
root. Yes, what is he on?
बाच्यो रुडियस.
He's on. Let's just stay steroids
मरे
for
एलिस
now for
फस्क्यो
trying
झन्
to run
एलिसको.
away, but no. Alice gets caught, and that is going to be a shutdown play coming in
कति
from side
च्यापको
of
युट्युबबाट
EVT.
के च्याप्ने यार केटा
CR2,
यतिको
they
लाइभ
were
भन्दा म
so
त
in
फनको
sync
लागि.
just a minute or two ago, but right now it
Yeah.
kind of feels like they just lost that synergy in terms of their engages.
It's still good that Yahiko is not the one dying because this is a Leo mode. You do not want to die no matter what the
एकचोटि मरेछ
circumstances
नि
is
लियो
going to be.
मोड.
So I think it's
त्यहाँ
still a
हाम्रो
good deal for the side of
हिरो त एकचोटि
Crux.
मरेछ नि.
But Elusivity, they did a really big job in trying to come back to all the losses that they have suffered now and do this. I think he's dealing a decent amount of damage. He can dive into the back line most of the time and try to go for the execution if he needed to. But the thing is, they need to have Gorikote into the fights. He's gonna be able to sustain a lot more than they think. And Doom right now just trying to give out a little bit of a vision here and there. They're gonna be stacking up, but the Lord is gonna be under the contest on the side of elusivity as well because this Lord should be a decider of whether they can stay into the game long enough or not.
That's exactly it. But right now, you will be able to see some of
No,
CK play
ओइ
coming into his bot
सोरा
lane if Gonigon gets
सोरा.
caught. Julius definitely has the spatial migration in
ओ
there.
नाइस नाइस
Misses
नाइस.
the jump.
Ah,
Gone nearly outplays that,
तर
but
लर्ड
Crisis
बर्ड्स
is
गर्ने
going
भ्याउँछ
to
तिनीहरूले.
use it.
लर्ड
Not looking so
बर्ड्स
good, but he has the
लर्ड बर्ड्स हान्यो.
mobility
नाइस
and the
नाइस नाइस
backup
नाइस.
is already
ओ
there
नो
from the
बर्ड्स कैसे
Alice.
नजाउँ.
Gonna be zoning towards right here.
नाइ
That
मोरेल
Claude
नोक्स
right there
लाइट
from
हान्न पाए.
Fade is gonna
नाइस.
be taking quite a amount of damage. Uses of the brilliance to save
पोरिकेटी
himself. He will
मऱ्यो.
actually manage to stay alive.
लभली
Only
लभली
Julius was
लभली.
the one falling down for
1
the
minute
damage, but
advantage.
Yahiko wins that fight. And elusivity looking for an engage. That's gonna
Bad
be a
engage है.
spatial
Bad
migration as
engage
well as
गुनिभरको
well.
bad engage
Requiem
लास्टै.
being used up onto
नाइस.
the Alice and the Surge.
ओइ
And
ओइ ओइ.
ultimate manages to catch three now.
ल गन उल्टे
They
मऱ्यो नि त तर.
will be
कसले पायो लर्ड?
moving
ल
forward.
गुनिभरले
oh,
पायो.
Use guns, but
नाइ
Julius
क्रक्सलाई गाह्रो हुन्छ यो गेम.
steals
क्लड
away
स्टिल
the
बाँकी रहेछ.
Lord with the
यहीको ओइ नाइस.
retribution, gets a kill.
नाइस
It's
है
a
नाइस
two
है नाइस
of
है नाइस
them.
नाइस नाइस.
Faden gets a shotgun. Yahiko gets a double. It's a
लभली
four
यार
for
लभली.
three,
धन्न थ्रो
but
भइसक्यो त
that's
यार.
gonna be a Lord being secured by the side of EVT.
के भएछ यार लर्डमा
how
मैले
did
हेरेको थिएँ
he
यार गनलाई हेरेको
manage
थिएँ
to
मैले.
stay on a full HP into that elongated
ओ
team fight
हल्काले
made
बाँचेछ
by
नि त लर्ड.
elusivity
लर्डको
as
एचपी.
well as Kurosukam Yahiko is a different
या
build onto the
या
Leo
हेर
mod
न
that we can see
कत्रो
so
ड्यामेज
far.
लाग्यो
They
यार.
were able
आम्मामा
to
लुनक्स कसरी
get
आएको
a kill onto
तर्साइदिएर यार.
Julius, but they did lose onto the Lord. So elusivity a very good job done by Julius.
ब्लू अफ लिएर
Finally, they're
आइरहेछ अरे
gonna be
यहीको.
able to do what they're
लास्ट
supposed to
क्या
do in
मान्छे.
here, and this is really gonna be buying them time, a bit of a time which is what they need because of course they do have a good late game hero.
एउटा को
Crisis
नाच्छ
died.
मेक श्योर टु लाइक दिस
He's
stream,
still
guys. Don't
have the
forget to
entire
like
gold
the stream,
10k is what he
guys.
have in
Like,
comparison to the
subscribe,
gold
and
4 as well.
share.
Yahiko is still actually behind onto the goal in comparison to Crisis here, but still they will be able to catch up. Now he's gonna be onto his final build, which should be the Winter Truncheon, because he's gonna be needing that when the time comes, especially when Faden is trying to focus onto him, especially onto those team fight, because he is the main damage sources right now.
अरे
Julius,
अरे
though, I feel like it should be
क्लॉट
better if
क्लॉट
he
जब
focuses
हुँदैन
a
यिनीहरूले
bit
फ्रन्ट लाइन
more
मेल
onto
गर्न
the
त
Leo
सक्दैन
more, right? Because he's gonna be the one who have the consistent crowd control
दिस
that
इज
can
बेस्ट
take
अफ
out
थ्री गाइस बेस्ट अफ थ्री हो
the
यार
horse down, and that
बेस्ट अफ
is
थ्री को हेर्नु
rarely happening. Rudius has been the one trying to go in most of the
हजुर
time to the tanky members, even though he
एकछिनमा
have the
हान्छु
damages. I don't think it's enough to for them to take anyone down right there.
Exactly. They need to find a way to catch that Claude and also Shinzu in a way, because technically the rest of them aren't that much of a threat yet. If they can just go in for a pick-up kind of play onto the Hilda or maybe
हरिले
the
अल्ट हान्यो
Lux,
नाइस अल्ट यार नाइस अल्ट सेन्जु
they'll
मोरे
be able to
नाइस
dive in on
इन्गेज यार
Shinzu, or they will be
Oh
managing
फ्लिकर
to
थिएन
wow.
take
सेन्जुको
him
नाइस
down
इन्गेज यार
almost instantly. Yahiko definitely looking for the damage to zone away the
कोरिनु
backline.
कोऱ्यो
Cory being able
नाइस
to get
नाइस
caught
नाइस
him in the middle of three
लभली
people, and he
इन्गेज
gets
लभली इन्गेज चाहिँ
taken
अरेको
down.
सेन्जुको
60
फ्लिकर थिएन
seconds
त्यही
up
भएर
until the
चढिदिइहाल्यो
time
यार
slot.
लभली टाइम
Crisis finally gets his
फ्लिकर
winter
आउनु लाग्थ्यो
truncheon,
टाइमर याद
but
गरेको
is
यही
it going
फाइदा
to
हो क्या
be enough
लाइक
for
फ्लिकर छैन
him to sustain
चढिदिइहाल्ने
the
हो
team
क्या
fights is going to be the question. Another Phantom Steed
जेटिएन
is
त
going to
झ्याउने
come
हान्छ
in
अहिले स्टाइल त
every 15 seconds
Why
there.
don't
He
you
needs
also
to be
join
taking
the
in quite
Indian?
some amount of
Hey
damage, but
guys,
still
let's see.
there's no room to
अहिलेसम्म त केही
save
फिक्स छैन
himself. But right
रुडियस
now,
रुडियस रुडियस
Rudius will be pulled out of the turret, will
बात छैन
take in a lot of damage, but manages to stay alive for now.
That was a long, brawly competition that we have seen so far. But funnily enough, Faden's been, basic hitting onto the blue buff that took him a long while, while for the Lunox to take that blue buff here. But the thing is, Crisis is already onto the full build, right? He have the Malefic gun onto his hands too. That's gonna
खाना
be
खायो
another
ब्रो खाना
penetration
खाएको छैन
as
यार
well
मैले
as a
अहिलेसम्म
range that is a double one
अरे इट्स
two.
क्वाइट गुड
And
या इज
now
प्लेइङ
he's gonna be the one hunting quite a lot here.
नाइस
But the thing is, he don't have the spacing
रिसेन्ट
that is
नाउ
required.
डेज
There's always gonna be someone stunning onto him. Already the blade armor built away by Yahiko onto the Leoma, so he's not playing around. He doesn't want to get hurt
रेड आर्मर
with
बनाएको
the
एकैले
amount of
ओके
damage
क्लाउडको लागि
output that's
बनायो होला
coming
भने
through
चाहिँ
onto
क्लाउडले
the
पनि
hunting
ड्यामेज
card
डिल गरेर
already.
छ
So I think this
इफ
is
यु
a
आर
wise
नाइस आइटम
decision
इज
making coming through for him too. And now the Lord is already out. It's not going to be evolved Lord just yet, but still, they elusivity they are not trying to let them take it. They are just trying to contest it again, because for the first time, Julian onto that first contest, Julius was able to win it out, so they might try
घर
to
बस्छ
do it
होइन
again.
फ्रन्ट लाइनलाई मानि ड्यामेज छैन क्या
He
जसमा
has
लुनक्सले
the
हान्दैन
ultimate here. Will be using
जेटीले
it
आउट हान्यो
to try and
ओ
stun
माई
people down. The
गॉड
Julius
Oh,
again
ग्याङ
seals
टिम फाइट
away
भन्छ
the Lord for a second time from the hands of Yahiko, but the damage coming in from the side of CRQ is a little too much for EVT to handle, as it's going to be zoning out of the damage
के
dealing
भइरहेछ
on the
त्यहाँ
backline, while Yahiko
oh,
finishes off Rudius in the mid lane. Three
ओ
people
माई गॉड
down,
कस्तो
two
ट्याङ्क हो
people being
एलिस
absolutely zoned away to their own base. Can CRQ
क्राइसिस
try and march onwards to the mid
ओइ
lane here?
मार्यो
Winter
oh,
Champion play though from Crisis is definitely gonna
ओ
get
माई
one
गॉड
in that fight. He manages to
तर
stay alive for
क्राइसिसले
some time, but for now,
भन्नु न त्यस्तो
let's
राम्रो
see
गरेको
if
छैन यार
this
भन्नुपर्दा नि
Blood can they find a way
क्राइसिस
to
हो
get
ड्यामेज डिलर
each
क्राइसिस के
and
गरेर
every
सक्थ्यो
player
ड्यामेजै
invested
हानेको छैन
in?
त्यसले
yeah, they should have a play a
400
play
वाच
under the good discipline out there, because
त्यही
they
त
don't
400
have
वाच केटा
the
लाइक
good
साइक
setup
हाल्नु न केटा हो
onto working on
200 लाइक
onto
पुगाइदिउँ त
enemies that,
लाइक
so
हाल्यो
they
भने कस्तो
they
लोभ
are
के
not
केटा हो
really doing
सबैजना लाइक
bad
मात्रै
at all.
थिचौँ
But
न
on
होइन
the other side of the Lord
लाइक
should
सब्सक्राइब
be
हेर्नु
taken care of by Crux Raccoon here. Unfortunately for them, they did lose it out. Julius again able to steal it away. This is gonna be buying them a bit of a time that they needed here.
क्राइसिस
And Elusivity, knowing for their late game
ओइ
potential,
क्राइसिस त
will
के हो मा
mostly
अब
try to
हान्न
go for it again.
मरे
But
क्राइसिस
oh,
नाइस
Crisis!
नाइस नाइस नाइस
Oh
लभली
no!
थ्रो
Ah,
लभली थ्रो या
What?
क्राइसिसको
He
what happened?
he was
ओइ
literally
सेन्जुस
like the last ray of hope kind of
जुलियस
person.
नै मर्यो
But
Ah,
Julius doesn't have the dash, bro. He's alone. Uses the Winter Trunk into the last moment, but
What the
cannot
fuck
survive
एभिडीले
that in
कस्तो
any
थ्रो
way
हान्दैछ यार
possible.
ब्रो
Is gonna fall down. 1-7
अब
and
रुडियस नै
6.
मर्छ
He
अरे
is
केटा छिटै
definitely not having a
फिकर
good
छैन
day.
रुडियसको
But right
कमिट हाने नि
now,
मर्यो
two
रुडियस नि
members down and two major members
डिफेन्ड हान्न
down. It's
सक्ला त
definitely gonna be Shenzu, Rudius, and Cory trying to defend that mid
अल्ट
initially.
हान्छ ल अहिले
Already
अब
trying to take the damage from the turret. Another surge
oh,
ultimate is
फिकर
going
बेट
to come in and gets the stun
कोरी
on the
कोरी कोरी
Juno.
कोरी
Cory
कोरी
is
मर्यो
gonna
कोरी
get
मर्यो
caught immediately.
एकछिन के भइरहेछ
oh. Never
But he
ओइ
mind.
feels the
नाइस
Never
नाइस
damage
mind.
नाइस नाइस
Oh,
on
भइरहेछ
the
भइरहेछ
base.
भइरहेछ
Look at that. And they are going to definitely go in for
के
the
भए
split.
भइरहेको
They
एकछिन त
find a
म्यान
way to
जेटिनको
take
अल्ट हाने
over
कि
the fort
देख्दै
in the
देख्दैन राम्ररी
process. And yeah, that's what happens when you try to shoutcast for a game like this.
That's
I miss me
usually
definitely यार ये true.
the side
कहाँ गएको
effects,
मेरो
man. But
moderator?
still, it just says a lot about the game here. How long it has been occurring. 18 minutes already. And the way that Yahiko has been losing onto the lore is just dragging out onto the game. Elusivity, Jill is doing so good onto the retribution here while hitting on it too. And this gave out a lot of confidence for them to try to contest onto the lore. And that
Cola
contest has
हो
kind
कस
of paid off because in on normal scenario,
फकत
you might want
cola
to
जस्तो
give it
लाग्यो
up
यार.
because you can have a good clearance with the a Z10 together with the Claude, and you can just wait into your bases, but they don't want to do that. They have good enough
यो गेम वेब म्यानेज गर्दै
retribution
बितेको छ
power
क्राइसिस तनाव छ यस्तै.
to go onto those contests here.
क्राइसिसले
Meantime, now Lord will be into the 10 seconds of the game. This is already going to be an evil
तर
for so
ड्यामेज
far,
डिलर त्यो
and
क्राइसिस एक्लै हो.
we have to see who's going to be going
वेब
for the
ग्याङ पाउनु
ongoing
भने
contest. This
क्राइसिस.
time, again, if Crux loses this, yeah, that's not going to be the
अब
best case scenario.
एलिसहरु
But
लियो
how
हाइलसहरुलाई
he
त
is
कहाँ
into the
जेटिनले
early
मार्नै
phases of the
सक्दैन.
game, the important Lord loss should not be occurring here anymore.
But again, we will be seeing the Lord fight this time
बल्ल
around.
ग्याङ पायो क्राइसिस.
Rudius here trying to find a target.
क्राइसिस
Trying
ग्याङ
to
पायो भने गाह्रै
feed
पर्छ यार
in that
क्रक्सलाई
fight.
भन्नुपर्दा.
And they are also waiting for Julius to look for a setup at the same time. Julius
Yahiko
will not
1108
find a
what the
position,
fuck
but
मैले नि
will
भर्खर
see
देखेको
what
यार.
he get. Maybe he
के हो
can
मा
get it.
एक्लै क्यारी हान्दैछ त यार
Yeah,
केटोले.
Jump?
gonna get the jump. Yeah.
फुल जंगल ग्याप हेर
It's
यता
not gonna commit
1108
onto
उता
a Hilo, of
176 छ क्या.
course.
No
But
worries.
20 मिनेट
hey,
भइछ यार गेम.
so far,
Lord dance.
not dance.
They're dancing. I'm pretty sure Yahiko is like, yeah, I cannot really risk it anymore. But I think they
Yahiko
might be
एकचोटि
going
मर्यो
for
नि
the
गेम सक्यो.
start. Never mind, still not Julius.
एकछिन.
Oh no, Julius gets
ओइ
it
कौन?
caught. Gone. He's
कौनको
committed
फ्लिकर
a
गयो.
little too much. Can he really sustain? That is
आइटम
the
सेभ गरे
question.
गनले.
Crisis still has the blazing away. Goes
क्राइसिस.
in for it onto the backside. Uses up the
क्राइसिस
window
दुखायो.
meter at the same time. Gets caught, but will BMI back to his safety position. But Array will be the one getting taken
ब्याट्रेड
down.
भएन यार
Only
लास्ट
one
ब्याट्रेड गन पनि
left.
मर्यो हाइलेस नि मर्यो.
But for now, as much as we
यहीको
can
अल्टी पनि
see,
छैन यार अहिले.
Team
रिट्री पनि छैन.
Watch
जीजी लर्ड गयो.
Requiem are at a loss of 2 members, and the Lord will definitely be getting chunked down by the
अन्टी
side of
लुनक्सले के गर्नु
Elusivity.
पर्छ जसलाई यार.
They might be able to pull
रिट्री
this
छैन.
off. Look
दुईटै
like
साइडको
the
रिट्री
Lord
छैन.
Faden is trying to look for something like a Ruby DD onto the
ओइ एलिस.
backside, but
ओइ
still
मा
not looking
एलिसको
too
फसिले
weak.
चोर जसलाई.
Gets
ल
caught
यार
by
जीजी.
Elis as well.
यहीको
Gets
नि
a
मर्यो.
shutdown onto Yahiko. It's a big one for them. Huge win
गयो लुनक्स
into
पनि
that
केटा.
fight.
इभडीले
Alice
जित्यो
tries to
क्या.
get the setup. Valid Requiem is gonna knock him up, and Crisis finishes it off. ED gets the wipeout.
जीजी
Shows
यार गाइस.
them why they are called one of
नाइस
the
ट्राई
most
थियो यार तर
consistent
अब
squads in India.
सकिसक्यो यार
And
त्यो
now they'll
दुईजना
be
मर्ने बित्तिकै
pushing
गेम सकिसक्यो.
forward with the
रिट्री
Lord.
पनि थिएन आइगएको त्यसमाथि
What a
अल्टी नि
good start onto the Lord fight there. We
खरा थियो भन्नु.
know that they were just trying to get a pick off onto
किचन
Julius,
गाइस
but
बेस्ट अफ
he
3 हो अझै
didn't
एक गेम बाँकी छ
die.
यसपछि.
And that is going to be the decider of where they will be able to end out the game. A
डिफेन्ड त हुँदैन
lot
यार. डिफेन्ड
of
हुँदैन केटा.
heavy basic
चोरा
attackers
र
onto the
हाइलेस त
opponent
छ
side of
डिफेन्डै
Elusivity.
हुँदैनन्.
This could be a possible end. Look at that.
जीजी यार गाइस.
Yep, that's gonna be
नाइस
a
ट्राई यार. नाइस ट्राई.
massive
नाइस ट्राई
setup
केही
coming
छैन.
in from Gone, but
बेस्ट
they
अफ 3
like
हो
the
अझै एक गेम बाँकी छ
damage.
हैन.
EBT
अब लास्ट गेम बाँकी छ केटा.
2
लास्ट गेम.
kills again, and this time around,
नाइस ट्राई.
the
नाइस ट्राई.
base will be theirs as they
गनीले
find
हएको
game number 2. A
हएको भन्दा नि खै
gold
यार
win for the
लेट गेम पुग्यो नि
Tiebreaker.
हार चाहिँ जस्तो लागिरहेको छ कि मलाई ढुक्क किनकि
Tiebreaker,
यता
late
क्लड
game, and
क्लड ग्याङमा
Elusivity
हानि
will be
सक्यो क्या.
leading. Now
क्लड
that
फर्स्ट टाइम
cannot
ग्याङमा
really
आएको थियो तर
happen.
गेम सक्यो हेर न.
Evolve Lord is their power
हएको नि
star,
हल्का
and
हएको
they were
भनौँ न हैन.
able to turn the tide around with
त्यहाँ
just one good
सिसी
fight that
खायो
they
कि
were
आयो
able
एकचोटि
to
रिप्ले हेरौँ त
have.
यार.
And now we can see
रिप्ले
that
हेर्नु मिलेको छैन.
the downside of having the upside of having a good clearance.
Commit onto a high loss, of
Oh,
course.
त्यहाँतिर यस्तो हेरौँ त
But
के भएर चाहिँ हेरौँ
hey,
मेरो केटा पज गऱ्यो अरे.
so far,
Lord dance.
not dance.
They're dancing. I'm pretty
ए
sure
अँ गुनिबरलाई इन्गेज
Yahiko is
गरेको थियो
like,
है
yeah,
ढोकै.
I cannot really risk it anymore. But I think
गुनिबरलाई
they might be going for the start.
ओके गुनिबरलाई अल्ट हानेर गनले लुनक्स नजिक हुनु पर्थ्यो जस्तो है यता. गुनिबरलाई अल्ट हाने बेला हेर न लुनक्स आज लुनक्सले मात्रै बर्स गर्ने हो नि त. हल्का मिसकम्युनिकेसन भएछ.
Never mind, still not Julius.
अनि जेटिनको नाइस अल्ट थियो यार यो नाइस अल्ट थियो क्या जेटिनको. अनि जुलियसले पनि सिसी खान्छौ भनेर यसले यो गुनिबरले अल्ट हानेको भन्नु. गुनिबरको अल्टमा सिसी खाँदैन नि त.
Oh no, Julius gets
गन यहाँ पुगेछ नि त गुनिबरले ड्यास हानेर. नभए वालमै आउँथ्यो यो सेकेन्ड स्किल सोराको ड्यासले. यहाँ पुगेछ गन. अनि एलिसले अल्ट हानेको नि के हो?
caught.
अल्ट
Gunning
हाने.
on. He's
अल्टमा कसले बढ्यो? अल्टमा रुडियो मात्रै पर्यो हैन.
committed a little too much. Can he really sustain? That is the question. Crisis still has the blazing
ए
away. Goes
रुडियस
in
पनि
for it
हैन
on the
गुनिबरको
backside. Uses up the window
सेकेन्ड
meter
स्किल
at the
रहेछ.
same time. Gets caught, but will BMI back to
अनि
safety
यहाँदेखि
position,
सक्यो
but
केटा
Ray will be the one getting taken down. Is the question. Gets caught. But Gunny gone.
एलिसको फ्लिकर थियो होइन फ्लिकर किन हाल्यो एलिसले
He's committed a little.
फ्लिकर हान्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्यो क्राइसिसलाई गुनिपरको अल्ट हेरेँ एकजना एलिसको अल्ट एकजना लागेको
But
छैन
no,
यता
Julius gets
फ्लिकर
caught.
पनि थियो
But
एलिससँग
Gunny gone. He's committed a little too much.
हिल्डाएर लागेको छ हिल्डाएर लाग्यो त के म्याटर भयो अनि यहाँ गनले आइटम सहित त राम्रै गरेको थियो गुनिपरको ड्यासलाई चाहिँ अल्ट हानेछ बेट खाएछ यो एलिसले
Can he really sustain? That is the question. Crisis still has the blazing to wear. Goes in for it onto the backside. Uses up the wind of nature at the same time. Gets caught. But
मरे
will
मरेन
TMI back to his safety position? But Ray will be the one getting
जिजी
taken
यार
down
गाइस
as
हल्का
well.
थ्रो
Gunny
भएर
gone
रहेछ
got into that fight. But
ठिकै
for
छ
now,
लास्ट गेम बाइक
as
छ
much as we can see, Team Crux Requiem are at a loss of 2 members.
Really good for the side of Crux Requiem. They don't have a kill onto the Leomord
असरले
either,
गेम खेलेको कति
and
हो
that
मैले
kind of
गेम खेलेको
give a big
6 वर्ष
scenario
5 वर्ष 5-6 वर्ष
for
भयो
Yahiko to have a good winning side too. One,
टिटीलाई
this
फेभर गर्थ्यो
set
टिम
was
फाइटमा
good
जति
for
लामो
them, but
लड्दा
if
त्यति बेटर
CRQ
थियो
were healthy
सिआरकेलाई वेब
enough to
प्रेसरले
follow up
गर्दा
to it, they could have avoided dying and just go for the
वेब
wipe out here.
वेब प्रेसर
But I think
त्यही त
for
वेब प्रेसरको
CRQ,
फाइदा
they
उठाएन
did
है
not throw a bit.
मार्क्सम्यान थिएन
It's just
हल्का
that they
स्लोली
played the
खेल्नु
game
पर्थ्यो
for
त्यसलाई
so long
क्लड
that
आउन
they
भइहाल्थ्यो रोटेट
cannot
गरेर
come back to the damage that was only already onto the hands of Crisis. And the fact that
के हो दाइ
they
यसो
have a
आउनु न
window
त
coming
डिस्कर्डमा यसो सँगै
means
हेरौँ
that even Faden onto the Lunos will not
ओमेन
be
दाइ
able to target him, and we can finally see it
लास्टमा
after the
लर्ड
8
कन्टेस्ट
seconds
नगरी
of the
डिफेन्ड
game when
हुन्थेन
the
र
overflow comes through, and
डिफेन्ड
up to here
डिफेन्ड हुँदैन थियो यार
also
केटा
there
ढुक्क
was
हुँदैन थियो
nothing wrong,
डिफेन्ड
but this shutdown was a bit
डिफेन्ड हान्ने
worse
हिरै
for
छैन
him.
कसरी
Even
डिफेन्ड हुन्छ
if
भने त
you're
मार्क्सम्यान
forced for him
तोरा छ
for
होइन
Crisis
मेजमा
is gonna be
लुनक्स छ
the man
नो
on the
वे
wins of
डिफेन्ड
Pizza.
हुँदै
I'm
हुँदैन
pretty
यार
sure he must have at least around
एउटा
20%
डिफेन्ड
of
हान्ने
that is also
लाइक इभहरू भएको भए इभ र मार्क्सम्यान भएको भए चाहिँ
So,
चान्सेस
and
थियो
I
होइन
think that
डिफेन्ड हुने
giving Crisis the
अरूसँग
kill-out is
त्यस्तो
kind of a mistake for CRQ here because Bro is just
लुनक्स
so
भन्नुपर्ने टिम
good
फाइट
onto his marksman.
लुनक्स
We
केटा
know
ठिकै
he
छ ठिकै छ
loves
होइन
his fighters, the CC, the Freya,
लुनक्स
the
भए भए चाहिँ के
Apple.
हुन्थ्यो
He
होला
loves
हुन नि
those. But his marksman, I think that is one of the reasons he's one of the
अब
only
लास्ट गेम केटा
few
बेस्ट अफ थ्री हो
veteran
1-1 भएको छ
marksmen
इबिटीको
who's
1
kind of
क्रक्सको 1
waited
है
so
लास्ट गेम हेर्नु
long.
नि मजा आउँछ हेरौँ
And
न
that
होइन
kind of just
फुल
shows
सपोर्ट छ
what a
केटाहरूलाई
high pressure stakes game like
हेरौँ त के गर्छ
this
केटाहरूले
where they didn't know they
होराको
have to
लाइनमा को छ
perform
अहिले होराको
or
लाइनमा
they are going to
कोही छैन
face
भन्नु तर
much
फ्रेन्डली ब्याटलको लागि
worse
चाहिँ हामीले
fate
त्यही
than they already
पहिलाकै
have.
रोस्टर हो
Mhm.
तर भ्याम्पायर बोय चाहिँ रोममा
This
यहीको
kill though. Yahiko, I
यहीकोले
think
त
he
अति
performed
खेलेको यार
so
यो गेम
well
त
onto the
मान्नै पर्छ
Leomord,
यार
but the Leomord
ब्रो
does falls
त्यत्रो
down
केडी
into
हान्दा नि
a
ब्रो
little bit of the
हारेको
game,
रे
and
क्या कसरी
it
एक्सपेक्ट
was
गर्ने क्या what the
definitely going to
fuck
be into the hands of Lunox, right? Faden should be the one
होराको लाइनअप सेम हो गाइस
who will
यहीको
be able to
गड
carry them to the later part of the game, but he
यहीको
wasn't
गड
having that
बब
opening because the frontliners just died too early
भ्याम्पायर र
on.
म
Look
हो
at
गाइस
Crisis though. I think he made a blunder here trying to
के
kill
हुन्छ अहिले
King and
स्ट्रिम गर्ने
rush
बेला
right
निन्दा लाग्छ
down,
भन्छ
but yeah, this kind of
हिजो यार
gave them a big
त्यो
setback too. And
फाइनल 2-3 बजीसम्म
this
भएको थियो
could
कि
have
केटा
been
2
a
बजे
good
म
set
3 बजे
for the
सुतेँ कि
side of
फाइनल
Crux
2
Requiem, but they
2:30तिर
are
सक्यो
unable to earn because
लाइभ
they
स्ट्रिम
don't
गर्दा
have
थियो
a good
2:30
base
बजीसम्म
lock here. They have a good damage, but they don't have a good base
अब
lock. They have only the Leomord for that. And
2:30 बजीसम्म लाइभ स्ट्रिम गरेको
Elusivity
थियो
were
अनि
perfectly
3
on
बजीतिर
point with
सुतेको
that too, and they were able to clear it out too. And Gone, him dying here
थिएँ र
so
भोलि
early on,
हेरेर
this
चाहिँ
is the
केटा
change that
सबैजना
the change that
7:30मा बस्छ
Crisis was
होइन
able to
फ्रेन्डली ब्याटल
dive in, get
डेन्जर
out
हुन्छ
the
भोलि
damages in. They took out the frontliners too. Gone
भोलि
died.
फ्राइडे पनि हो
Ray
टक्क
died as well,
मजाले
and
हेर
that
पर्सि
is
छुट्टी पनि
the
हुन्छ
best.
शनिबारको होइन
And even Yahiko got taken down, right? So
मजाले
this is
हेर
the
केटा
best
मजाले
way for them to start out onto the Lord here. And now
थर्ड क्वालिटी
that
क्यान्सल गर्ने
Lord,
हिरो लिएको भए
when they
लेटमा
have a
केही
good
हुन्थ्यो कि
crowd control and a good damage dealing potential
क्लाउडको
onto
अल्टी
the
क्यान्सल गर्ने
bases,
क्लाउडको
this
अल्टी
is
क्यान्सल
time
गर्ने
to
हिरो
take it
भए
out
भए
any
त्यसले
closer. And
फ्रिज
look at that,
बनाउँथ्यो होला
who's gonna be the MVP of
त्यसले
the
फ्रिज
game
हाने
is
सुरुमा त्यसपछि
Senju, not
फेरि विन
Crisis.
बनायो नि त्यसले त्यसले आइटम स्वाइप
And
गरेर
I
थियो
mean, unexpected because we haven't seen him play Zacian as much, but
बच्चामा हेर्ने भ्यूहरूलाई एउटा सर्ट आउट नै
if
छैन
it
भएन है
works for you,
सर्ट
then
आउट
it
यो
works.
छु है
And I
2
think
बच्चामा
we
हेरेको
were
थियो यार हाम्रो केटो
now the
नभए जहिले
damage
छिटै
came from the
सुत्छ यार
Glowing
यो
Horn
छु
and the Wishing Lantern mainly, and also the Ultimates because
रोम
it
रोम
really
भ्याम्पायर
did
भयो है हाम्रो
save
केटा
his
भोलिको लागि
team a lot of times. Those timings were pretty accurate, and that made a lot
भोलि
of
6
difference
म्याचमा
because the
भोलि
game
एसएटिएलको अगेन्स्ट छ
gets
केटा हो भोलि मजा आउँछ तिमीहरूलाई
pretty
जे होस् होइन
still on. And these teams, they simply just don't know when to give up. I mean, why would they give up anyway? But it's like they just don't know how to live without Brawl.
They just can't, man. This is the problem with that here too. And I feel like, they this utility into the hands of Senju couldn't have worked well, but it worked really fine though. But yeah, into the early stages, I think he
च्यानलमा
struggles a little
स्पोर्ट
bit, but
फेडरेसन
now
अफ इन्डियामा
he's
हुन्छ
able to play
दाइ
the team game, and they were playing for Crisis
प्लेटमा
only,
फ्रडलाई
and Crisis
समात्ने
pull out
ट्राई गर्नु
onto
पर्यो
the later part of the game,
फ्रडलाई
and he was like,
समात्नै
"Yeah,
सक्दैन
I'll do it
फ्रड
myself," and
समात्ने
he
हिँड्यो
couldn't.
होइन
He
केटा
couldn't
ड्यास
destroy
हुन्छ होइन
even the
अनि
fact that
अल्टीले
Julius,
मुभमेन्ट
yeah,
स्पिड
we
पाउँछ
cannot count
प्लस
him
त्यसले
out because
फ्रिज
he was
हान्छ
able to
क्या
win out
अनि
the
फ्रिज
rotation
हानेपछि के गर्छ
against
फ्रिज
Yahiko
थिच्छ
2
अनि इमो
times in a
किन्छ
row. That kind of create them, force
घोडाको रोम भ्याम्पायर भयो
Crux
केटा
to go
भ्याम्पायर
to the
भयो
late game, and they
घोडाको
dragged the
रोमको
late game for
केमा
so
हुन्छ
long that
टुर्नामेन्ट होइन
it become
मैले
in favor for their
कतिचोटि
side. The
भनिसकेँ केटा
Taboski became tanky, Crisis had the damages
अनि
already, and
डिस्कर्ड भन्यो
there was no one
डिस्कर्ड
dying for the side of Elusivity too, and
तपाईँलाई म
that became
लिङ्क
a
पठाउँछु
factor for
त्यसमा
their side. So I think Yahiko,
म्याचमा
man, this time around he might want to have a
मेरो
good
भाइको माया
attempt
लाग्यो
going
यार त्यस्तो
onto
बल
the
खेल्दा नि हार
mid.
यार
That's right. I mean,
ओके म लिङ्क
let's see,
दिन्छु है
the first game 28-2, and second game it was absolutely 50-50 except for that last mistake at the Lord which CRQ did, and that kind of just feels like they lacked in the draft somewhere. They lacked a bit of range, they lacked a bit of late game potential because the enemy has a Claude. First game they
मेरो
definitely
स्पिएन द मार्क्स भने
pressured,
चाहिँ
they
एउटा
wanted to
दाइ हो
play
क्या
some
मेरो
shit,
पहिलाको
Claude was
टिममेट हो
able to farm because of the Khalid, but second
कोचिङ
game
बन्न
they
पर्फेक्ट
just
छ हुन्छ यो
couldn't.
दाइले चाहिँ तर
First high loss is a very
त्यही हो
passive
त्यस्तो गेममा ध्यान
hero.
दिनुहुन्न आजकल होइन
Like
Mhm.
पर्सनल
it's
लाइफ
just a hero. You just stand there and soak in all the damage, and that is what happens when you play a high loss with something like maybe a Lunox. They were lacking the setup.
डिस्कर्ड त
Zora
बोलाएको छु होइन
definitely did go in for a lot of good setups with the Thunder form as well as the Surge form, but there was no
Mhm.
follow up. The Lunox couldn't reach because of the amount of folk coming in from the Zacian, and they
Yep.
need to change that. They need to find a way to play to their strengths, and they need to find a way
यो
to
अर्को
also
कास्टको आवाज
backline.
कस्तो
You can
सानो
see
आइरहेछ यार
Chenzo, he was technically very roaming very free in
अनि म
this
चाहिँ
game.
त त्यस्तो स्ट्रिम गर्दै
Yeah,
डिस्ट्रिम
he
आउनु
was
तपाईँ आउनु भयो भने म डिस्कर्डमा
untouchable
स्ट्रिम
here. There
हाल्छु
was not a good dive that he was gonna be saved from. But you know what? This time around, I think he should be prioritizing onto the first side here because it's definitely going to be a hero onto his hands too. And the fact that he is able to play out the utility now says a lot about the improvement that he is able to do so here. But Kirksukam, they could have ended that. They could have
ल
won
दाइ
that. They won that game, but they just dragged it out for a long, long while, and because of Rudius, because of
Bueno,
Julius, of course. And now I think this
त्यस्तो
is going
हो
to be the decider,
दाइ
right? Game number 3. Who's going to be going into the next
के
round
हुँदैछ
here? The
यार
drafting is going to be very, very important for their side. And now, I would
कस्तो
say
थ्रो
late
हानेको
game
केटाहरूले
heroes
है
are no matter how
हल्का
much
थ्रो भयो नि दाइ
you can win into the early game. When the game doesn't go right, you should always have a plan B, and the plan B always should be the
Will you play
late
XP
game
or
scaling
Romin? Yes,
heroes.
I'll play
So
XP,
even
guys.
though you prioritize onto those
Oh,
glowing
XP kills one.
fighter
I'll play XP.
into the gold laners, maybe they can get something
Let's
up a
go,
step
like,
here
guys.
onto the
Game
mid
3
side,
draft
like the
start
Lunox
भयो
and
त
the Kimis too, or the Yisins as well. It's still
कस्तो
very
आइरहेछ
important.
डिस्कर्डमा
So
क्लिन
CRQ
आइरहेछ
now, I hope they are able to adapt to the
ठिकै
mistakes that they
हानेको
had into the previous game
मेरो
and
हल्का
elusive
इस्यु
it.
आउँदै
चलिरहेछ
थियो
They are
भने
still
डिस्कर्डमा
onto
फेरि
the first pick. Kurzuka, they took the second pick. So look at the bands so far. Any gone, Jushin will be
भन है
gone
कुन
as
कास्ट
well.
मिलाइदिऊ
What
मलाई
else?
मलाई
They
कुनै
were
कास्ट
Freya,
चाहिँदैन केटा
Freya
हो
too, right?
Yep, the Freya can definitely be removed
म
in
सिङ्गलै
this
ठिक
one.
छु केटा सिङ्गलै ठिक छु
But
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
they
बनाउनु
are
हुँदैन क्या दाइ
they
भनिदिनु
they
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
made
बनाउनु
things right,
हुँदैन
so they
भनेर
don't want to risk by getting rid of Freya. They could
तपाईँको
also
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
go
छ कि
for
छैन फेरि
Luxia like they have been doing
कहिलेदेखि आयो
into
तिमी यो
the
बाटोमा
different situations. Last
हजुर
game they actually banned out on the
तिमी त अनि
C6
दुई
main
तिनवटा
ban and all
बनाइरहेको थियौ
that.
होइन भने
But CRQ
Mhm.
needs to think this through
अहिले
because
बनायो दुई
first
तिनवटा
game they
थत्
had
चाहिँ
the
जे
second
पाइदिए
pick
नभन्नु न
and this time
हौ
they
जे
have
पाइदिए
भाइको
a
त
भन्छ
अनि
so
सर्भर
technically,
पछि
yeah,
गर्लफ्रेन्ड हुन्थ्यो अरे सुनेको थिएँ मैले
the
पहिला
Jushin ban was very
जे
justified. Like
पाइदिए
they
भनेर चाहिँ यार जे
should be
पाइदिए
banning
भनेर
out
चाहिँ केटा
the
फेक
Luxia
हो
and
यस्तो
go for the
जिस्किरहेको दाइ
Lunox, which is exactly what they did in game one.
Yeah, I think. Okay, Freya Ben. Oh wait, wow. Goodivir has so much of a big contest now, right? Even yesterday we can see into the finals. There has been a
त्यो
contest
ऊ
onto his
आयो कि आएन
heroes
हिजो
so far,
तिम्रोमा
and now it's gonna be bent over
डिजेवाई
by the side of elusivity. No
दिदी भाइ
more Guinevere
दिदीबहिनीले
for
त स्ट्रिम
yesterday.
गरेको
She
थियो
was able to perform so well. So
देखिरहेको थियो
सबैको
मैले
now
च्यानलमा
for the
पुगिरहेको
side of
थियो
Crux Requiem, what can they possibly ban here? if they want to ban out the Z10,
कापसँग
I
नि
feel like
1v1
it's a
हान्दै थियो
valid choice too. Or
Ooh.
CC ban can come to again,
त्यो
but
त
still
जानी
Gron
पुग्छ यार
gonna be
त्यो
able
त
to play on
डिजे
the
भए त
CC2 if he wanted to. So that's not really a problem
त्यसलाई
for their
भ्युवर
side. But
चाहियो
the
त्यो
fact is,
त्यही त
I feel like
हल्का
Crisis wins here on
जबरजस्ती क्या
when
त्यो त
he plays the fighter against Gon. So maybe,
यस्तो हेर्छु
try
त
to respect out the
इन्डियन
heroes
टुर्नामेन्ट
of
वाच पार्टी गरेर
Crisis
त्यसलाई त केही
too.
थाहा पनि
If
छैन
they
यार
want to ban
टिमहरूको
out the
त्यही नि
Baksha here, I have no problem.
That's what I mean.
फार्सा
I'm
ब्यान
sure that's
ओके
going to be
यति
a
छिटो फार्सा
Guinevere
ब्यान
and
फर्स्ट पेजमै
Farsa respect ban coming in for these teams.
इबिटीको ओइ
And
के हो
Kimi
किमी
will be insta-log this time.
के ड्राफ्ट हो यो
Shinsuke
किमी फर्स्ट पिक
finally getting his comfort pick, his signature pick, let's say.
ए
Yep.
सेन्सुको
For
किमी
the
मेन
mid
साँच्ची
lane,
यार यो
which
मेच
should be pretty good for him unless
बसेर
Faden decides to
के
go in
जिस्किरहेको
for
केटा दाइले जिस्केर भने
maybe
कहाँ
the
जस्तो हुन्छ
Kadita.
यार
That's a possibility.
Oh.
Or even the Yeet. Those two things might work pretty well against the
के गर्नु
Kadita.
भइरहेको छ त दाइ आजकल
Zacian wouldn't be of that much use because
किनकि यही
she
काम
didn't
गयो
get
आयो
jumped in on like
यस्तो ल
Shenjun
ड्राफ्ट
and
थम्नेल
his
बनाउँछु
death in the past
मेरो लागि
few
नि बनाउनु पर्यो थम्नेल
times.
वाच पार्टीको
But
Mm.
CRQ,
उसलाई
what can be their first pick? They could
अस्ति तपाईँको
go
थम्नेल
for
हेरेको
maybe
कस्तो
the
जोजको लागिरह्यो
Kadita,
मलाई
Kadita and the
त्यो
Yusuf
तिमीलाई
at
लागेको
the
हो कि
same
त्यस्तो
time.
टिममा युट्युब खोल्दा
But
राम्रो देख्छ क्या
that's
अनि
not the case.
हो एकचोटि
They
ट्राई
could
गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो है
also try and get the
लाइक
Grok
वाच
as
पार्टीको लाइक
Hilda,
अब
the
थम्नेलले भनेको वाच पार्टीको लागि
Oh,
छुट्टै
get
थम्नेल
definitely
that.
the YSS, good. But
टुर्नामेन्टको
hey,
पनि
बरु
पुरै
शनिबारतिर
do
हेरौँला नि
look on the
के
God of
भयो
Kaja,
गरौँला
something he is
हुन्छ
actually feared for.
वाइसेस आएछ वाइसेस अब जङ्गलमा नि आउन
Yeah,
सक्छ
not
गोलमा नि
literal
आउन
with the
सक्छ भन्न
Gadot.
सक्दैन
Definitely gonna be a better
ए अँ
picking
अहिले त
after the
गोल्डमा
last
खेल्दा
pick
रहेछ
of the
यो
game here. So
अँ
गोलमा
Mercury
नि
have been
खेला
completely ignored. So
हिजो नि
Elusive
खेला
cannot
टुर्नामेन्ट
protect the
हिजोको
lane
फाइनलमा
anymore here. And the fact that they are just trying to
ए अँ
pick out the
रिडिमले खेल्दा
Lucian
थियो
first
होइन
means that they want to flex pick
हारेछ
mid.
त
I
त्यो
feel like
म्याच
Gonigon can play it too here, but Yahiko, it should be
मच्छु
better
मसरा
chance of
कन्ट्याक्ट
Yahiko in
मी
this game
हुन्छ
because
आलु ब्रोलाई
they can
कन्ट्याक्ट
get
गर्नुपर्छ
another
है
marksman into the gold lane side if they want the Harry too. It can really work out,
वाच
but
पार्टीको लागि
because of the
छुट्टै थम्नेल
presence of the
चाहिरहेको छ
Kimi
मलाई
and the
त्यही
Yushin,
भएर नि
both of the heroes, both of the squads have their own flex picks now. So Korikuri, mm, so if you want a prio into his hero, they can go for it.
ऊ
Oh wow, Elise
एलिस लगिदियो
definitely.
यो
I've
क्रक्सको
never seen
एक्सपीको
this guy onto the Elise, but
किन लास्ट
okay.
गेममा जसले जित्यो त्यो
Even now
पुग्छ
he's gonna
होइन
be
अप्पर ब्याकेट
pretty
जो हार्छ त्यो
obvious.
लोवर ब्याकेट पुग्छ
The
लोवर ब्याकेट त
Pyros
कसैलाई आउन मन
playing
छैन होला
one against the Gato together
किनकि
with
गाह्रै
the
छ लोवर
Yushin
ब्याकेटमा
into
त
the hands of Elusivity. Rudius this time around will not be as active as he was onto the Hilda, but he's gonna be a big protector, right? Because for a
इम्पोर्ट
Kimi,
अलआउट गरेपछि
you need
मजा
a
आउँछ
good frontliner who will
इम्पोर्ट
be
अलआउट गऱ्यो
standing
नि दुईजना मात्रै जानु मिल्छ केटा
defending,
एउटा
and he will
टिममा
be able to
फुल
free
नेपाली
hit
टिम
it
जानु
out. And I
मिल्दैन
think he is also a hero that slows down the passive of a Gatot Gacha, so it's definitely gonna be a win-win for the side of Elusivity here. But Crux Requiem, why can't they pick it out here? Tamus? No.
I mean, they
टिमहरू पनि छ
technically
यो
could,
टुर्नामेन्टमा
but you
अँ
know what? 27 likes to play into the
को हो
EXP base
जङ्गलमा
drafts. He loves his heat.
जोसेफ
So
It
that's a
is.
possibility.
Oh
He
yeah,
could
true, true,
try.
true.
जोसेफ
Yep, he could
अँ
try and get it. They do might want to get the
होराबाट
Sora all
जोसेफ
over again because it worked
ए
very
हो
well
यो
for them
टुर्नामेन्ट
in
यो अहिले
Q1, but it
भइरहेकोमा
will
त कहाँ हो र छ
get banned quite possibly as well
यो अहिले
because
वाच
they
पार्टी
already
गरिरहेको
have
वाला
their
भन्नुभयो होइन
entire mid lineup
यो
in
चाहिँ
this
अर्कै हो
situation. But
यो अर्को हो नि
hey,
एसएफआई भने त
they
नेपाल
could
भर्सेस इन्डिया फ्रेन्डली
definitely
ब्याटल
ban
मात्रै हो
out on the Sora here. They could also
भोलिको वाला
ban
ए
out
ए त्यही त
on. Let's see.
यसमा नि
They
छ
could ban
यसमा
out on
लोवर
who
ब्याकेटमा बस्छ
else
हामी
for the Sora.
यसमा चाहिँ को हो
They
जङ्गल
can ban out the okay
जोसेफ
CC
यसमा
again
जोसेफ
gone. Crisis is not getting the CC man. I think
एसएफआईमा
because
त याईको नै हो जङ्गल
now they can ban out the Harrods
ए ओके
also
ओके
if they want. Carry already gone
हिजो
here,
हिजो गेम
and I
एसएटीले
feel like
जित्यो यार
the
केटा हो
basic damage from the hands of Faden will
अनि
not
हिजो
be
सोलको
enough.
जङ्गल को हो
But then
त
again, they can play the
जोसेफ नै हो
Yushin onto the goal, get the
ए
joy onto the hands of Yahiko,
जोसेफ जता नि
and
छ क्या जता
just
नि छ
yeah, just get a good experience here
भोलि
into the
केसमा लाइभ हुन्छ
hands
भोलि
of
इएसएफआईमा
27.
लाइभ हुन्छ
Oh,
गाइस
but Chris come now.
क्यारी
You know
क्यारी
what? They
ब्यान
can
हानेको
just
छैन
ban away
के
the
क्यारी
Claude
गुड ब्यान
here.
भन्छ त जेटिन प्रयोग गर्छ जेटिन कतिले प्रयोग गर्न थालेर छ आजकल
And the carry Claude ban, LEVT did that in game one as well, and somehow didn't work out for them.
हाम्रो भोलिको टिमको को छ
But CRQ are the
भोलिको
ones
टिम
who
भन्नाले
have
भोलि नेपालबाट त सबैको
decent
तिनजनाकै
champion,
गेम हुन्छ
and
इन्डियाबाट पनि तिनजनाकै गेम हुन्छ
they really need to figure out a way what they want to do with the jungle for EBT. They have the Lancelot that could work out still now, but and Crux do not ban it out, and giving Julius the Lancelot in draft like this is
यसको त
absolutely
ग्लोबल अल्टी नै डेन्जर
very
लाग्छ
very
मलाई
risky a play that they are
कसको
doing here.
Yeah, I feel like they are setting up for the Harriets,
Ulti
man.
लास्टै
No
छ
matter
नि
how I
पहिला
look
हामी यो कालियाको
at
अगेन्स्ट राउन्ड हुन्छ
Rumble,
भने लिएको थियो
they can play the joy
अहिले
of
त
the
जति बेला पनि
Harriets.
पिक हुन्छ
Either way can be fine here. It's gonna be dependent on what elusivity ban here, right? They can ban
पिङ
another
इस्यु होला पिङ
marksman
इस्यु अब
here too, a gold laner. It
50
doesn't have to
50
be
60
a
एमएस
clot because they can play the clot for themselves. Oh, so
मुम्बईमा
they
हो यो
ban the joy. So now Crux,
बम्बेमा
okay,
हुन्छ होला तर
they can
केटाहरू
take
फेरि
the
बेङ्गालमा
Harriets
छ
here.
दुईजना याइको र गन
Uh, if they take
नभए
that,
नेपाल
they
अल्टरनेट गर्ने भने
can
फेरि नेपालमा तिनीहरूकै
clearly
ल्याएको हुन्छ
getting
याइको र गनको बेङ्गालमा भएर
a clod,
त्यही भएर
or they
नेपाल
can
सर्भर खेल्न
play
मिल्दैन
the Yishin into the goal side and take another hero for Yahiko. So what will be their
त्यति
decision
धेरै
here
त
to be the
नहोला हौ
conversion
उताबाट यता
damage? They still have the Harley though, just saying.
बेङ्गालबाट नेपाल
उम्,
70
Fine,
80
the
आउँछ
alley
चेक
is still
गर्छु
gonna be open, but hey, we
ए
were
हो र
talking about the Sora,
अँ
and it's gonna
साउन्ड
be
हल्का
a
ठुलो पारौँ न
Sora
त
for
कसको ठुलो
win
गर्नु पऱ्यो केटा हो
Honeygon this time around. We'll see.
अँ
The last pick would be the most defining
कास्टरको
pick
Yeah.
for the side of CR.
अनि
Elusivity, they
याइकोले त
still have a
हानिदिन्छ
bit of
त अनि
flexibility.
असीएमएसमा पनि फ्यानी
They have the
अँ
Lancelot
हानिदिन्छ
for,
याइकोले
I
त
mean, Julius here.
राम्रै खेलिदिन्छ
They
उसले त
also have
अति खेल्छ फ्यानी चाहिँ
they have
फेरि
too much magic. They need something physical for their
Yeah,
core
yeah, yeah.
game.
यो
CC is out, so
यो
maybe
वाइएसएस 16
Lapu
अहिलेसम्म फ्लेक्समै
could
छ
work,
गोल्डम्यान जान
or the
सक्छ
Granger if they
जङ्गलमा पनि
wanna
जान सक्छ
snowball it
वाइएसएस
and
अनि 16
give
गोल्डम्यान
the
जान सक्छ एक्समेन जान सक्छ
Kenny Granger combination for this team. And if worst
केटा
comes to
लेट्स गो है त
worst,
क्रकले हान्नु
they
पऱ्यो यो गेम
decide
लेट्स
to
गो
go
भन्छ
in
लेट्स
for
गो
a
है त
completely unorthodox pick, maybe something
क्रकले
like
हान्नै पर्छ यार प्लिज
Sivir.
यार लोड ब्याकेट नआयो भने त यार क्रक्स
That's what. Okay, this is much of a better choice here. Good
लेन्स
call onto
लड
the Lapu Lapu. I feel like
ओए
this is so well.
याइको
Oh, there we
हारले
go.
आयो
The Harley. So this is the
भनेपछि
one
वाइएसएस
thing
गोल्ड
that they
16
wanted
एक्सपी
to go for. Okay, now it
लापु
makes
गोल्ड
more sense. This is why Crux
वाइएसएस
becomes
गोल्ड
like,
यतापट्टि
it's so
यताबाट
fine to
लापु
see for
गोल्ड
the draft. But
लापु
elusivity though,
गोल्ड हो के
Julius finally getting his hands onto his Lancelot will be definitely gonna be
लापु गोल्ड
making
त्यस्तो
our
मन
day
त परेन
here
मलाई
and his day too. Because I feel like
वाइएसएस
the
गयो
best
भने त
thing
ठिकै
is
हो
that
तर
he's been playing he's not
केटा
been playing
ग्याम्बलर है
small terms at the
वाइएसएस
Lapu Lapu
वाइएसएस गोल्ड छ
into the
अनि
hands
जङ्गलमा
of
हार्ली
maybe
छ है केटा हो
Crisis. I
हेरौँ
think
कसरी हान्छ
he is definitely going to be playing much better and he's going to be laning against Gon
हेलो लङ टाइम नो सी
onto the
यस
Yi
ब्रो
Xin,
वेलकम
right?
टु द
So
स्ट्रिम
he's
एउटा
going to be
ग्लेजर
rotating much faster in comparison. So this might eventually be a good winning lane for the side of elusivity. But here again,
को
it
को
is
नाइस
a
मेक श्योर
Harley,
लाइक द
right?
स्ट्रिम केटा हो लाइक हान्नु
This is a
सब्सक्राइब
hero
हान्नु है
which
त
is
केटा हो
so good in
छिटो
kiting.
5K पुगाम
And the
सब्सक्राइब
only fact, the only reason why they pick out the Z10 as well was they
तिमीलाई
wanted to
कुन चाहिँ
play
मन पर्यो
Harley. So
ड्राफ्ट
this is definitely going to be a
ड्राफ्ट
good
मलाई
setup coming through from the side of Crux Rookham. I hope they pull this off, man.
ड्राफ्ट
I honestly agree with you there
ड्राफ्ट
because
त
the
यार
Harley
किन हो
ultimate
मलाई
and the
इबिटीकै राम्रो
Seishan's
लागिरहेछ
two
हौ
pokes would be very, very risky for the
वाइएसएस
side of
कस्तो छ
Elusivity
लिनिङ
to
फेजमा
go with
अहिले
it. They also have a good draft for
लेनिङ
themselves,
फेजमा खै त्यो त थाहा
especially
होइन मलाई मेबी ठिकै होला त्यही
Julius
भएर
on
गोलमा
the
ट्राई
top.
गरेर होला अहिले
Lancelot is very deadly for any mid
लापो
laner.
गयो भने
लास्ट
चाहिँ
Hey, look at
फोरभन्दा अगाडि
it!
त
He's doing his
वाइसैलाई
signature
एडभान्टेज हुन्छ
move. It's
ओ
stealing kills
याइकोले
with
रेड खाइदियो यार
Echo,
ओ
and
माई
he
गड
was
ओपनको रेड खाइदियो
यो मान्छे
यो
त
मान्छे
not
त
really able to move this rotation.
कस
And poor
कसरी प्रेडी
Julius
खाइदियो क्या
is
वाट द
not
फक
even close to realizing
रेड पनि खायो
that
त्यो
he
मुनिको
is
अझै अर्को नि
not,
खाइरहेछ
he's
क्या
definitely not going to be hitting that level 4
फेरि यो डुम
anytime
पनि उस्तै छ नि
soon.
त
He's going to
मान्छे
have a
सन्काउँछ नि
fair,
यसले पनि
well,
उही
he's
जाजा
gonna
भनेर
he's gonna have a fairly easy time at 30, I'd say.
थाहा पनि छैन लेन्स
Yeah,
कार्डलाई
that
थाहा
is
नि छैन
definitely gonna be a good start coming through from the
अब
side
बल्ल
of
थाहा
थाहा
भयो
हुन्छ
Yahiko here.
तिमीले देख्यो
You should
थाहा
have
भयो
made
थाहा
it
भयो
out
थाहा
here,
भयो
man. But the thing is,
वाट
for
द फक यार
elusivity, they
नाइस
still
यार
have
केटा
डबल
time
ग्रिन
with
पनि
regards
खाइसकेछ
to
अरे
त्यही त
बाप
combining
मुनि
रे
पनि
the
खायो
merchant.
लेन्स
So
सर्ट
not
4
to
पुग्दैन
worry,
है
I
अब
guess we'll be a little bit behind onto the goal. He should be able to secure the
नाइस
kill
यार त्यो
onto the
नाइस
a little wanderer here. But
ओ
without the
फ्लिकर भेट
red
भयो नि
buff,
तर
he's
ठिकै
definitely
छ
gonna be
ठिकै छ
delayed onto the farm. He cannot go for the invade. But do they wanna go for the invade is the question because Gun also is just trying to
याद
help
गरे
his jungle
ओइ
here.
एकछिन
Exactly.
रिट्री
So
छ
it's
ओए
definitely
तर
Julius
लग
going to
यार
dig
लेन्स
in,
सर्ट
but one
नाइस तर
damage
मरे
gets
लेन्स सर्ट ठिकै हो
hooked
ठिकै
मर्नु
in, and
नाइस
he
नाइस
is
नाइस नाइस
gonna die.
डेस्पिरेट
He
भइसक्यो लेन्स
stole
सर्ट
away
रेड
the
नपाएर
red, but he also gave
तर
away
पाउन त
his
पायो रेड भयो
life.
यसलाई
This is not good for Lancelot into the early game, but let's
कतिको
just
वर्थ
say
हो यो चाहिँ
for
थाहा भएन मलाई
CRQ, they are trying their best to keep it even for now.
यो
And
क्रकलाई फाइदा भयो नि
they are doing their best to
किल
gain
त्यही
पायो
त
the
त्यही त
अनि दुइटा
advantage
एउटा रेड
at
यताको यताको सेम
like
त हो त क्रकलाई फाइदा भयो
as much as possible right now.
जुलियस भने चाहिँ को
Level
हो
4 already
खै म
for
नि चिन्दिनँ
collocating onto the
यिनीहरू
alleys here, so they will be able to
रुडियस
farm
भने
the
त
little
चिन्नुहुन्छ
gold
होला
using
तपाईँले
Roger 2 here. Onto the top line, a
हजुर
bit of a
नाम
1v1
सुनेँ
situation happening for
अफ
the
रेड
top lane
रुडियस
Crisis
भने
and Gonigon too, but
को
Gonigon still
हाम्रो
able to have
पिएचडी
all
को
of those
अँ
passive onto him, right? And
पिएचडी
Gonigon is
ह्याकर हो
able to
यार
get onto the turtle.
अरे बाप रे
Oh, Oh,
डेन्जर
that's
ह्याकर
setup coming in, but the damage from the side of EVT as well as CRQ. With
Wait.
Legit के मात्रै गर्दैन यार पहिला
CRQ gets the better end of it as they manage to take
Nice team
down
fight,
the
nice
Alice
यार.
while not losing their lives
Total
in
goal
the
भएको के?
process. Gani waiting for
Proc
the
ले पाएन
moment to
total?
catch Shenzu off guard, who has just hit his level 4 and does
ए
not
होइन रहेछ
recover.
लेन्सले भएको
But
रहेछ
of course, CRQ knows that they cannot over-engage, they cannot commit too much, because otherwise they will be the ones losing it.
यिनीहरूलाई जित्ने
They are the
क्रममा
one losing
सिड
it out
ग्लोबल
here,
फार्सा
man. But the thing
पुगेको
is, it's looking good for the side of Elusivity still because they are
ए
not
यत्रो ह्याक
losing
लिएर
out
आउँथ्यो
onto
कसरी
anything.
हान्थ्यो
They
नि
are
अहिले त
utilizing
ऱ्याङ्कमा त्यति
onto
बेला त
anything that they could find
कहाँ
right
नि हो
now
नि
into the
हामीले
bottom
एभ्री
lane
गेम
though.
लिन्थ्यो नि त
Still, a
मैले
lot
एभ्री
of
गेम
pressure
सेलेना
being
नभए
built
पोपो
upon
लिन्थिनँ
onto
गरे
Core
यसो
Cutie. This is
नभए त
Alice,
खेल्नै
which is
सक्दैन
gonna be not, which is not gonna be as tanky into the early stage of the game in comparison to Sora. Also
रुडियसले
because
प्यासिभ बेट हान्यो
the reason, this is also the reason why you want to
ऊ
focus on
एक्समा त
Sora
पास
हान्दै
हालेर
being
वेभ
जस्तो
क्लियर
हो
closer
गर्ने
onto the
होइन
early stage of the game so that he
कोसँग
will
बोलेको
not be that much
मसरा
of a tanky
ओमेन
hero
त गाइस
who
पहिलाको
will
ओजी प्लेयर
have a
नेपालको
problem with. Onto the other side though, that is already a passive being burned away by Love Faden. Here he's not gonna be having the passive, so wherever there is gonna be an engage, he needs to have that flicker on.
भोइसको अल्ट त होइन
Gonna be using up that knowledge shopper for a bit of
यो
vision.
किमी हो
He
किमी हेर्नु
will be
फर्स्ट पिक
on the
लिइरहेछ क्या
slight
यो वान
bit
ट्रिक
of
किमी
the
जस्तो लाग्यो
movement
मलाई
into the gold lane because Lapu has far more sustain. But if it goes a little bit late,
रुडियस
they will
रुडियस
have
मर्यो होला
Shenzi
नाइस
on
पिक अप है नाइस
like damage in terms of
व्हाट द
healing.
फक यो
बाँच्छौ
हाइलेस
भने
बाच्यो
Survives the
अब
massive
Oh,
5 मा पनि
hit
हिल हुन्छ नि त
apparently. And I think it's solely
त्यो
because of
माथि
the
रिभाइट लाइस
revitalize that he had
व्हाट
there.
द
yeah.
फक
And
कत्रो
okay,
ट्याङ्क
again
यार
towards mid, as far as we can see, Julius trying to go in for an
मर्यो
engage, and
मिडमा
he's
मर्यो
gonna
लेन्सले
get
मर्यो
knocked back by the
त्यो
passive
लेन्सले त
right
हगिरहेछ
under
यार
that
हगिरहेछ
mid
यसले
turret, and Faden will manage to secure a kill in his name.
That is a good flicker coming through from Lalfaden here, and I think this time around they may be trying to go for the turtle here because it could have been good if
कोरीले
Yahiko's
नाइस
able
गरिरहेछ
to
यार
get
टडल
one
हान्नै
more here,
दिएछ
but
न
CRQ,
क्रक्सलाई
not
जङ्गल नभएर
CRQ, EVT though, they're so
नाइस
good
है
in
त
joining them away.
यो
Level
पनि
7
राम्रो खेल्छ
already for both of the
कोरी
jungles, so they
भिचले
should be
भन्थ्यो लाइक पहिला
50-50
यो
good test
नम्बर
of
1
it
एक्सी थियो
already
भनेर
though.
लाइक 2 वर्ष
Onto the
अगाडि
mid side,
इन्डियाको
unable to poke out his passive just yet. Look at him getting poked away, getting
त्योभन्दा अगाडि
duped away.
जङ्गलर
He
थियो के
does
अरे
not
अझै
have the
ल्यान्सहरू
revitalize
खेल्दा ल्यान्सको
yet.
भिडियो
He does have the AOZ now, so maybe they can still go for the contest.
अलि
रुडियस
आफ्नो
रुडियस
टाइपको
मर्यो
खेल्छ
मर्यो
नराम्रो
रुडियस नाइस पिकअप यार केटाहरूको
Let's
नाइस
see.
पिकअप
Again, Sora goes in for the setup, and Rudius will be
लभली
the
पनिस
one
यार
taking the hit this time. And okay,
एलिसको
Sora
फ्लिकर अल्ट
definitely
त
looking
छैन
for a
रहेछ
little bit of a serious.
ओए जित्छु त
Ah,
हान्थ्यो त
Mm.
फेरि
hit
मर्यो
by
अरे मर्यो अरे
no.
मर्यो
Julius
ओए मा
might
कसम
still be
एलिसको
getting
कस्तो
those
लास्ट महिना पकडिदिएर
retributions on
गनले फ्लिकर नि हान्न पाएन
finding 2 kills this time around. Shenzu
को
getting marked down. Julius finally redeeming himself with that early game kill, which he gave away.
के
But
भन्छ
no,
ओए
that
यस्तो
gonna be taken out very low with
ओए
Core
लामो
Cutie
नआउँछ न
with
अरू
the
ग्लेजर
blade.
लाइभ
Manages to
भइरहेछ
survive. But okay, Sora still has the Thunderform ultimate coming in a few seconds, and he might just be able to secure this kill for himself. But no, he's not gonna commit to it after all.
Zuba
इभिटीलाई फाइदा भयो यार यो ट्रेड त
that he sends you, by the way, and this is not going to be the best case scenario here. Onto the bot lane, though, I think working on dying might be
सोरा
onto something here.
फ्लिकर गयो सोराको
धम्मका मजा
ओए फ्लिकर गयो मरे पनि यार
Giving
लेन्सले
Julius
ट्रिपल किल पायो
this
किलिङ
one
स्ट्रिम
slot.
छ लेन्स लट
Big,
Yeah.
big mistake. No matter
गन
how
गो
good you are,
गन मरे क्या
you're
ओए
gonna no crisis, not wanting to bait his flicker
यो
right here. He'll play it
क्रक्स
out
कसरी
safe.
हार्दैछ फेरि
Still has the
एक्कासी यार
first battle form onto him.
2K गोल्ड स्विङ भयो यार
Definitely
त
त्यही
not
त
gonna commit to
एक्कासी क्या 2K
Faden in the mid lane, definitely having a
कोरी
little bit of
टर्टलले
comfort
गर्दा
here.
मरे 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 नाइस
ओ
नाइस नाइस
Very,
नाइस नाइस
very low. Yeah,
लभली
he
टाइम
absolutely bursts him down with the magic cards. And right
हाई
now,
आयुष
they need to
हेलो
find a
आन्टी
way
के छ
to
सन्चै
gain
हुनुहुन्छ
some
आन्टी
advantage towards their gold quite possibly because that is going to be
आन्टीको छोराकै गेम हेरिरहेको है अहिले चाहिँ फेरि
on towards the late game.
इन्डियाको मामु
Yep,
Oh,
and
yeah,
that is
go
what
mommy
they're
on that.
actually focusing on. But Crux
नमस्कार
is so
आन्टी जी
good in trying to
नमस्कार आन्टी जी
give
नमस्कार
Polygon into the lane, right? But it is going to be a little bit too late if he's still going to be staying into the team fight. I mean, into the lane because he's definitely going to be necessary for the team fight because of various fights too. And where he go now, I think he's going to be actually a level behind in comparison to Julius here because Julius was able to get out
गोल्डी
a
त बढ्दै गइरहेछ
consistent
त
2 turtles and a lot of resources out there too with the kills that he have been having far. Now this turtle will be definitely
क्राइसी
important for
लेन
the
कट
side
गरेर
of
टटल
Azure
आउनलाई
here.
जस्तो
They need to set up for this turtle for themselves.
लेन
But
कट गरेर
before
टटल
that,
आउँदैछ
they
यार
need Yahiko to have a good level
टटलमा
in
गाह्रै छ जस्तो
comparison
लाग्यो
to,
यार केटा हो
to Julius as well. So they have to farm a
लेन्सलाई
little bit
रिटी हान्यो
slow
भने सजिलो हुन्छ
because
अझै
if
2
they do
लेभल
lose
अगाडि
this
छ
turtle
लेन्स लट
again, the snowball will get
यहीँको र बस
they out of hands and they won't be
कोही
able
रिटी
to
क्या
handle it out. But right now, Yahiko is just trying to steal out, unable to do so. Julius will be able to get
एलिसको
it.
फ्लिकर ओ माई गड कस्तो सिनर्जी मिलाएर हाने क्या यिनीहरूले
as
GG.
Faden gets
Lane
taken
shot
down
bowler.
along with Gonigon. Both of them suffering quite a lot, and the flicker doesn't help either.
Rudius more,
Sora
Rudius more.
trying to
Nice,
set up
nice.
right into the turret. The turret
Yo,
damage
lane
is
shot
gonna be
though.
too much for
Dekko
Rudius,
thinks the
and
dash
then
though.
he will be the one falling down finally from the side of Elusivity. 1-4-2 while Yahiko absolutely demolishes
EVT ले
them.
हान्न पो थाल्दै यार केटा हो
I mean,
गाह्रो
it
पर्छ
has
त
been
यार
up to a Harrod because of his passive.
लेट गेम तपाईँलाई कसको कम राम्रो लागिरहेछ लेट गेमको लागि
Seen very often, but seeing it
Uh,
trying to push a tower is something new. Let's just say.
एलिसलाई कसले मार्ने अनि
He's actually
मन
a
त्यही
bit
सोचिरहेको छु के
low
दाइ
on gold. That has to be one of the main
त्यही त
issue why
यिनीहरूको
he wasn't able to take
यिनीहरूको
anyone down onto the
फ्रन्ट
spring
लाइनमा न
like this
किमीहरू
year
छ
too. And I think it's definitely okay now that we think about it because now
यो अझै वान ट्रिक
यहाँ
किमी
for
हो
the side of CRQ they have for the
एलिसलाई
side
मार्ने
of
अनि
Senju
सोचेर
he already
जाँदाखेरि नि
have
हर्केले हान्छ नि त पछाडिपट्टि
the
फेरि यो
ice
क्राइसिसले
Sky Piercer. He doesn't have the kills just yet. So
हर्के चाहिँ
kills
किन
are
भन्नु
really
यसलाई
into the hands
ल
of
मरेस जेटियन
wait, never mind, look at
हर्के
that.
त यो
Yep.
यस्तो बजार छ त्यसले अनि
Got his
पछाडिलाई
picture. He doesn't
यो
really
गेम
have
त
any
गाह्रो छ
backup,
यार
but hey, mid lane,
यो गेम हारे नि
Julius
लोवर
gets
ब्याकेट आउँछ
marked
हो
down, but
ओ माई
Julius
गड यो लेन स्लट त के खेल्दैछ यार यसले
almost did it, but
फ्लिकर बेट
had to
हान्दै
clear
गनको
out just to save himself. Also, the revitalize coming in
क्रेजी
to
खेल्दैछ
very
यार लेन
save
स्लटले
his goal laner's life. CRQ definitely very
यहीँकोले स्प्लिटै हान्छ
disappointing
होला
for them here
त्यही
as
त
अब टिम
उपाय
फाइटमा
छैन
कामै
नि
छैन
trying
उम्.
to, you know what, hold the
कस्तो
game
बिग्रेको
very
राम्रै भएको थियो त रेड बफ
trying
पाएको थियो
to
लेन स्लट मरेको पनि थियो अर्ली
deny
भयो यार
every single
एक्कासी
point of advantage to the side of CRQ.
उसले किलै पाएन
It's so
क्या यहीँकोले
annoying the fact that he
फर्स्ट
तिन
गेम
hasn't
किल
been able
थियो
to go onto the long lane
इभिटीलाई
here
2 किलमा
to
राखिदिएको
stay
थियो यार
alone, and he's been
केटाहरूले
dependent onto the basic
2
attack just
किलमा
because
क्या
of the build that he
2
has
र
so far, the
फर्स्ट
Shadow
गेम
28 हो कि
Shine
कति भएको थियो
and the Feather of Heaven, which is
राइट
gonna be able to
सेकेन्ड गेम
give
थर्ड
out
गेम
give
हार्नु
him a
पर्यो
good clearance there too. But the thing is, he's gonna be looking after the damage that he's needed so far, and the fact that 7k gold
लड
is
त
only into
दिनुपर्छ
the hands,
क्रक्सले
gold is into the hands of Julius means that he's gonna be hurting quite a lot. He's on his way to build out onto this endless battle as well, which is gonna
नो
be
वे इनकेज गर्नै
giving
भ्याउँदैन
him a lot of good cooldown. And if you
यसरी
get
गनले
them with the
स्प्लिट
raw
हाने बेला
X2, right, it's
यहीँकोले
already a
किमीलाई
good
छोप्यो
cooldown
भने
already
चाहिँ
too. And
गाह्रो
Julius
नि
right now, he'll be able to get onto this
ऊ
onto this
यसरी
wall,
क्या
but Senju in trouble.
आहा
फर्स्ट खेल रेडी
In
हान्ने
trouble indeed. But let's just see. Right now, EVT, they just need to hold it together. And CRQ,
Yeah.
they need to find some kind of an opening, try and take down
जेटिनको
Senju or Julius
ठिकै
in
छ
case.
ऊ त
Because Crisis, he has
डिफेन्स
been
त
doing
राम्रै
his
छ
job, but
वेभ
he
क्लियर
hasn't
कसरी गर्छ
been
यिनीहरूले
that impactful into the game yet. But Elusivity, that
त्यो फ्री
Lancelot
हान्ने नै छैन
is
वेभ क्लियर गर्नु
clearly just carrying
खै मलाई
things
त गाह्रै जस्तो लागिरहेछ डिफेन्स त
right now. Oh no, Yahiko, he actually missed the dash a
गाह्रो
little
छ
bit.
क्रक्सको लागि त गाह्रै
Okay,
जस्तो लागिरहेछ
Crux will be able to sustain that very easily. He has the Oracle for himself.
ओ
Oh,
माई
that
गड
मरेन
लेन
line,
स्लट
Sora
उही
manages
ओ
to
माई
nose it
गड यो
with
लेन
the
स्लट के
button.
मरेन
खेल्दैछ
Nose
यार
it
यो लेन
through the
स्लट
rose, and he is the one who gets
भित्र छिरिछिरि
taken
मारिरहेछ टरेको
down.
भित्र
Insane amount of damage coming in from the Lancelot, I would say.
फुल
And
अझै
स्ट्याक होला
now
वार एक्स
things
रोजको
are looking very,
अझै
very bad
16
for the
लाग्यो
side of
16
CRQ.
नाइ
They don't
ओ माई
really
गड
look good,
झन्न
but
मरेको यार
Corey with the
जेटियन
sand. But look at that, though, the Fury of the Phoenix coming through as well. But now it's gonna be
डिफेन्ड हान्नु पर्यो डिफेन्ड डिफेन्ड
Godspeed
केटा
and
इनिप जान्न दियो
yeah,
इनिप जान्न
Julius
दियो
still able to survive onto this, but
लेन
he's
स्लट
just
मर्यो
trying
होला
to go in
ओए
again.
1 एचपी के
He's
हो यो
on
लेन स्लट
he's
त
on
मर्नै
stairs at
मान्दैन
this
त यार
point. He's so comfortable onto that hero, man. And now the lightning transcend already built away by Phaeton here. Not enough of the magic damage that they have so far, but still Yahiko needs a farm here, man. The
घरमै
deadly
मऱ्यो भाइ
magic
यहीँको
isn't doing anything to the damages. He wasn't
इनिप
able
चाहिँ
to take
बटको इनिप जान
anyone down
लागेछ
just yet. Just one kill on his hands, and that
ओ
is
हान्यो
लेन
gonna
स्लट
लेन्स
के
kill him
गरिरहेछ
सिरियल
right again
ओ
top
माई
lane.
गड ब्रो
Yep, that's
कसरी
going
मार्यो
to
यार माथि
be
देखाएको
a
नि थिएन
attempt to engage by 27 as
यहीँकोले
well.
सेकेन्ड हान्नु अगाडि गएको थियो
But
कि वेभ
could
हान्नलाई
not really find the target.
अनि
So now
फिर्ता
they
आउँदा
do have
ड्यास
to pick
पायो
up a
त्यसले
prolific roar. But
अब
so,
डुमले
hey, let's just
टन्ट
say that
कि चाँडै हान्नुपर्छ
EVT is
कि फेड
currently in a
हान्नुपर्छ
bit of big, big dangers right
गयो
now.
50-50 हो
बटको
They
मिड
get
पनि
a
गयो
defending
जिजी
that Rune of Ruin, but it was enough to zone people away from the side of CRQ. And now the
त्यो
inhibitors are
गाह्रो छ
getting like chunked down like
गाह्रै
anything.
छ यो गेम
क्राइसिस
त
And CRQ
माथि
is
पनि गयो जिजी
contesting
टिन्टिनी भयो यार
that inhibitor. Like, I have
माथिको
no
बच्छ
idea
होला
what they're thinking right now.
बचायो
That is
अल्ट
Yeah.
not
हानेर
the
घाटोले
thing to do.
they do have a good scaling hero, right? For Harley, he will be able to have a good
One
comeback.
dealing
But this
minion
time,
damage.
I feel like it's
ठिक नै
really,
आवाज छ
really a weak opportunity. The chances are
खै यार
low.
केटा हो के
Jewel is
भने अब
already so farmed up. He is on the
यो
killing
गेम अब
spree.
90%
He
त
will
जित्छ
not
कि
be
इबिटीले
dying
केटा
anytime
ढुक्क
soon.
90%
He
त
have the brute force breastplate already, and
गाह्रो छ
base
नि
is open
10
over the
के
side
लिड
of
छ
Crux
अनि
and Cram. They
त्यो
have
एउटा
only
हाइलोस
one
बाँचेर हेर न
turret
अर्ली गेम त्यो
standing
मरे भए
still.
कम हुन्थ्यो
It's only 12 minutes of
प्रेसर
the
त्यही
game,
त
and
ब्याकमा
the game, the lord is not in
1
full
एचपी मा
strength yet. They don't
बाँच्यो
really have this kind of good clearance that they want. And Yi Xunshin, this is the downside of having a Yi Xunshin into the goal lane side. When you are stuck back into your base, you are
खै
unable to
मर्दैन
finish the
यो
game.
लेन्सर
But
त के
look
हो
at this Julius though. He's so comfortable. He just went in. Once they
चारजनाको
got the
बिचमा के
red
रेड बफ
buff,
लगायो
they can
त्यसले
just walk out and they will be able to take out this
ए
lord too.
होइन
And
रहेछ त
if they sing the lanes right, they might eventually be able to end the game here.
लोवर ब्र्याकेट आउँछ है क्रक्स
And EVT will get this lot pretty easily, no contest whatsoever. So let's just say that EVT has a major advantage right now, and no one on the
केटाहरूलाई
side of
फाइनलमा
Crux
भेट्यौँ
Reckon
भनेको
can
यार अब
actually
लोवर ब्र्याकेटमा जुत्नु
clear
पऱ्यो
that
केटाहरूसँग
fast either. They've got a YSS
यिनीहरूले
and
लाइक
Lucian too, but
खोइ
they're
कसरी
really
मार्ने यार
hard
कसलाई मार्न
and
सक्छ
they won't
किमीले
know
मात्र त
as to
मार्न
how
सक्छ
to trigger those crits from
तिमी
just
पनि अब
अरू कोही त
कसरी
the
मर्छ
मर्दैन
land itself. Let's just
ठुवा हान्यो
see
मात्र एउटा पनि
that
इनिप छैन फेरि
Smoke.
इनिप भइदिएको त
I
ल
don't know what
टावरभित्र
they
मर्छ
need here, but a miracle is what they need
हारले आउने त्यो
to
फर्स्ट
win
किल हान्न
this,
भाग्दैन रहेछ
and that is something that EVT won't be giving away too easily.
Yep. Especially Julius onto the last line will not be giving them away because he's able to dive into their backlines in and
मरे
out and
हारले
still able
मरे
to find something here.
मरे
Yahiko!
सक्यो ल गाइस जिजी
Yep, Yahiko is gonna get taken down almost instantly, but the Sora gets an amazing setup onto 3 people, but the Throne of Ruin as well, zone people away right
डिफेन्स त
into the
हुँदैन
base.
यार
Can
केटा
Sora make it back? He
हुँदैन
does,
ओ
but the
माई गॉड
team,
ब्रो
EVT, they will lock down on the base. They're trying
तर
everything possible to take
एकछिन
this
एकछिन एकछिन
down.
आई मिन
It takes
जिटिएलले
down the God of
ओ माई
Contact,
गॉड
but
लेन्सलॉट
right
ओ
now,
माई
Julius only
गॉड
only 2 people
जिजी
remaining.
यार गा
One
जिजी
Zacian, one Sora. It's not going to be enough
जिजी
for
यार केटा
anybody.
हो
And
नाइस ट्राई यार नाइस ट्राई हो
EVT
के
take
कसरी बिग्रियो यार
away game number 3. Pull off a
ओ
reverse
अर्ली
sweep
यस्तो राम्रो
to
भएको थियो यार के
take
भयो यार
their
एकता चाहिँ
spot into the grand finals of the
एउटा
upcoming
टर्टल काइट
tournament.
नहानेर गेमै कस्तो
Oh
सिन
my
भएको थियो
goodness, who would have thought that this will be turning around like
ब्रो
this? It's
लोवर ब्याकेटमा के हो यार
so
क्रक्स
good
छ
for the side of EVT. Julius onto
हाम्रो
the
टिम छ
Lancelot. Yeah,
आरएनटिएक्स
he
छ
did not
गड
want to
लाइक
give
छ
that guy that Lancelot. Banning away
लोवर
the
ब्याकेट
Moxia was okay, but giving away the Lancelot too, never gonna be
लोवर
good.
ब्याकेटबाट जो टिम
And
फाइनल
so
जान्छ
good.
त्यो
He
त
did
खत्रै
make
हो
a
यार
mistake with
कसम
that too, but
लोवर ब्याकेटबाट जो
unfortunately,
टिम
आरएनडिएक्स भनेको
and
मिरियो र
unfortunately,
विच भएको
they are
विच
still
छ
gonna
अरे
be having the
लोवर
chances of the
ब्याकेटबाट
last
जो
round
जान्छ
if
फाइनल
they
त्यसले
have
जित्छ
the
ढुक्क यो
because
टुर्नामेन्ट
lower bracket
अनि अवर
might
ब्याकेटमा
as
को छ
well
त्यसो भए
care. There's
अब
no
ब्याकेटमा
team
इभिटी
that they
भर्खर
can
यो
fight
जितेर
there too, so it's gonna be a very very long run for them. But for EVT,
हेर्नु
the
त हामीलाई
chances
के भयो हाम्रो
to
ब्याकेटमा के
winning
भयो भन्नु
now
न
with the 2 comfort picks into their hands and to
टप 16
walk
गड
out
लाइक
this
है
tourney, that
अनि
is
टप 8मा
very very
याइकोहरू
far
क्या
away.
के ब्याकेट
And
हो यार यो
Lancelot into the hands of Julius is
गड
so
गड लाइकले
comfortable onto
जितेको
the hero. He
क्रक्ससँग
did
2-1
lose a
भएर
lot of the
हारेको
red buff onto the start, but hey,
अनि लोवर ब्याकेटमा छ
गोल्डको हो
he
अहिले
won the red buff of
गोल्ड
Yahiko,
काइल
and he can still die for that. And from that on, I think it was
ए
really
काइलो
good
जोस
pace gameplay coming
अँ
through from the side too. Into the early game, it was a bit slow here, but Julius, man, he gets onto the farm
रोम
that Yahiko already built up for
रोम
himself.
किमी
Exactly
जिजी
so.
यार केटा हो
And
जिजी यार
I mean,
अनि मेज
hey, EVT.
मेस हुन त बब थियो होइन
It
बट
felt something
क्रक्सको
like that,
अगेन्स्ट चाहिँ
and
भुटानको
EVT
मेजले
have
खेलेको
been known for it.
किन खेलेको भन्दा
They
जोसेफ
love
उसको साथीलाई
like
खेलाउने यहाँ त्यहाँ भन्ने
testing their traps, playing
फाइनल
something
पुग्यो इबिटी डाइरेक्ट अब फाइनल त
non-conventional,
होला केटा तर यो
and then
लेन्सले
next
इन्भेट खाएर नि
go
यो
around,
लेन्सले कस्तो
they
खेलेको
took
यार
it for
हेर न यार
themselves,
कस्तो
and
खेलेको
in
यार
the
यो
third
लेन्स डट
game, they got the Lancelot,
लेन्सडल
and the
प्लेयर जस्तो
Lancelot
लागिरहेको छ
has
क्या
been
मलाई यो
there
लेन्सडल
in con for
यसमा परे थियो
so
जस्तो लाग्यो
many
क्या म
seasons
लेन्सडल प्लेयर जस्तो
now,
लाग्यो
and it just
यसको
ला
नाम
showed
बिर्सिक
the
यसको नाम अर्कै छ
confidence, the
यिनी नाम यो
damage,
राखेको
the
मात्रै
team fight,
हुन
everything.
सक्छ यो
It's
तर
all
लेन्सडल प्लेयर
shown
जस्तो लाग्यो
once
मलाई त
as to how
Yeah.
good
जहाँसम्म
they
लाग्छ
मेन
really
चिनी
are
प्लेयर
on
नै हो
this
यो
Lancelot. And
लाइक
Sierra
अँ
पुरानै
did
प्लेयर हो
make
कि
that mistake,
बिर्सेँ मैले
and they paid for it.
Julius.
उसले नि
They
हेरिरहन्छ
paid
उसको
for it, man. They
पिन
paid
छैन
for the
भने
price of that grand
लापोको
finals of
अगेन्स्टमा
the upper
भएपछि लिन्छ
brackets
खै यार
too.
केटा हो ड्राफ्ट नै
39%
हल्का
damage on
सस्तै
the
थियो
hero, like a lance of which is actually a semi-tank build too. He just deal a
ड्राफ्टै
lot
हेरिदिउँ
of
न के छ
damage, man.
यसपछि
He
कसको
was
म्याच छ
so rich under the goal. The war has
यसपछि
already built him
यसपछि
so
त्यस्तो राम्रो
fast
म्याच
with
त
the
छैन
bullet
तर
pulse
अप्पर
as
ब्राकेट के
well.
जस्तो लाग्यो
He's not getting taken down, and the fact that
यसको
you know.
ड्राफ्ट
जो
हेरिदिउँ न फेरि सुरुमा
For CRQ, they
कोच
have his
सेक्सन नै म
Hurley,
हेर्छु
right?
है
The Hurley should be
यसपछि
able to
कसको
get
म्याच
onto
सरी
this.
केटा हो
He will be
रोकै
able to kite away in and out and try to get out his farms and get out the damages in, but he was unable to do so because at that point of a time when he have his items, the members on the side of EVT were actually already so tanky, and Senzu was
यसपछि
able to
कसको म्याच छ
walk
केटा हो
away most
कसले
of
थाहा
the
छ
time
भन त
onto
यार
that gimme. He doesn't really get shot.
बब्ली
He
नखेलेको
doesn't really
अस्ति
get
चाहिँ
the
खेलेको थिएन
ultimate.
बब्ली
He
केटा
doesn't
क्रक्सको
really
अगेन्स्ट
have an.
ऊ भुटानी
He's
मेलले
in
पनि
a
50 हान्थ्यो
vulnerable
त्यो
position to
थिएन है
try to
जे
take it,
पाइदै खेल्दै थियो
to try
भुटानी
to
मेलले
be taken down, and I think they did not really
रेड
find a
खाइदिएर
good
इगोमै
opening
आएछ
too. And
रेड
hey,
खायो त्यो त
gamble,
इगोमै आयो त्यो
dude,
त
he lost on
एमबिपी
his
हान्न छ
gamble.
के हो प्राइज विल 2-3 लाख जस्तो लाग्यो
Kacha, Dumbai, what's going on?
हल्का रिवाइन्ड गर न यो
But hey, we
ड्राफ्ट
have
हेरेर
another best of three coming up, so let's not keep people waiting. And
ओके
we'll be taking a break right now, ladies and gentlemen. We except for the sword.
Early on against
यहाँसम्म त
Sagato
ठिकै
together
थियो
with the Yi Shunshin into the hands of Elusivity. Rudius this
फर्स्ट
time
विक
around
गएर
will
त्यो
not be as active as he was into
लास्टको
the
पिकले
Hilda, but
बिग्र जस्तो
he's
लाग्यो
gonna
मलाई
be a
हार्ली
big
पिकले
protector, right? Because for
याइकोले
Akimi,
वाइस
you
नै
need a
खेल्नुपर्ने
good
जस्तो लाग्यो
frontliner who will be standing in
म त
front
यो
of you
हाइलोस
and he
देखेर
will be
नलेको
able
जस्तो
to
लाग्यो
finish
हाइलोस
it
र
out.
आइरिस
And I
देखेर
think he is
जङ्गल
also
खेल्न
a
मन
hero
लागेन
that
जस्तो लाग्यो
slows
अनि
down the
जङ्गल
passive
लगाइदिन्छ
of the
फेरि
Gatot
गोलले
Kacha.
नफेरि
So
लाभु छ नि
it's
त गाह्रो
definitely
पर्छ
gonna
नि
be
त
everything
भाइसहरूलाई
for the side of Elusivity here. But Crux Requiem, what can
त्यही
they
त
figure
तर
out
अब
here?
के भन्नु त अल्टरनेटिभै थिएन कि हाइलोस आउँछ मुखमा कि एलिस आउँछ जुनपट्टि गयो पनि
They technically could,
जङ्गल लगायो
but you know what? 27
नोक्टुरा
likes to
भन्छ
play with
जुत्सु रे
ES in
ओके
these drafts. He loves his Edith. So
He
that's a
likes.
possibility
Oh
नोक्टुरा
that
yeah,
they
true, true,
do.
true.
नोक्टुराले खै
Yeah,
दुइटै
he could
जल्दी
try
जित्न
and
सक्छ
get it. They do might want to get the Sora all over again because it works
गाह्रो छ
really well
जोसेसँग
for
डिल
them
गर्नु
in
नै
game
जोसेफको
one.
त्यही
But
एउटा
it
बानी
will
हावा
get
छ क्या प्लेयर त राम्रै हो
banned
जोसेफ होइन
quite possibly as
बट
well because they already have their
हल्का
entire mid
त्यस्तै छ भन्नु
lineup in this situation.
अब खेल्छ होला
But
लोवर ब्याकेटमा बब नै
EVT, they
खेलाउँछ होला
can definitely ban out on the Sora here. They could also
जङ्गलहरू
ban out
त्यसै त हुन्छ नि
on
त्यस्तो हुँदै गर्छ
जङ्गलरहरू
नि
या
फेरि
त्यस्तै हुन्छ क्या
ban
जो
out on
जङ्गल
हो
भेटिसकेपछि
except
सबै
for
त्यस्तै क्या
Sora.
हो र हल्का
यहीको
हुनै
हल्का
पर्छ
ठिक
क्या
छ
त्यो
They can
अरू
ban out the
जङ्गलरहरू त
CC
इन्डियन
again
जङ्गलहरू त
gone.
भइहाल्छ
Crisis is not getting the CC, man. I'm pretty sure.
केटाहरूले
त्यो
मिठो
Now they
टर्टलवाला
can ban out
पार्ट
the
लगाउँदा त्यो
Harris
ठ्याक्कै
also
त्यो
if
उसलाई
they
मार्छ
want.
नि यो
Carry
सुनामी
a draw.
हाइलोसलाई
Read it out here, man. But the
फर्स्ट
thing
अर्डर हो कि
is,
सेकेन्ड अर्डर ल
Waiting for the moment to catch Shenton off guard, who has just hit his level 4 and does not have the
है
flicker.
त
But of
हाइलोस
course,
बाँचेपछिको
CRQ
हो त्यो
knows that they
ठ्याक्कै
cannot
अल्ट
let
हान्छ
him take
हाइलोसले
the
अल्ट
fight
डिभाइडलाई
away.
जाँदा
It's
बाँच्छ
too much.
till I see yet,
त्यसपछिको
he
टर्टल हो
does have the AOZ now,
कति बेला हो
so
अब
maybe they can still go
यतिखेर
for the
होस् लाग्यो मलाई
contest.
Exactly. So
यो टर्टल त
now let's
मोड्छ
see. Again, the Sora
के
goes into the
मऱ्यो
setup,
होइन
and Rudius will be the one
अब ल्यान्ड सर्ट कहाँ छ थाहा
taking the
छैन
hit this time. And
रिट्री
okay, Sora definitely looking for a little bit of
लेन्स
speed.
टपको रिट्री त अति हाने
Oh,
अरूले
ultimate, but no.
ओ या
Julius
लास्ट राउन्ड इन्डिया थियो
constantly
यार
getting
कोरी
those
क्युटीको
retributions on point.
फ्लिकर पनि
They
हान्नु
get
भएन कि गनले
Julius this time around.
आमामा लेन्स
Shenton
लट
gets
के
one
गरेको यो
down. Julius finally
त्यही
redeeming
त त्यही त
himself with that
बाफ रे
ultimate
बाफ
kill, which he gave away. But no,
यहीको नि
Yahiko
मऱ्यो
gonna be taken out very low.
ओ
And
माई गड
कोरीले
Rudius
गर्दा
with
हारे
the play
यार त्यहाँ
manages to survive. But okay, Sora
कोरीले
still
गर्दा
has
हार्यो यार
another
कोरीले
farm onto
कस्तो खेलेको
infinity
यार
in a few seconds, and he might
त्यो पनि
be able
बाँच्यो
to
हेर न
find
त्यो
his
अझै
limit.
कट हान्छ
ओ
Now,
माई गड यो पागल त
Blue buff into the hands of Akimi. That is
उसको
it.
याद आउँछ भने
Rudius
कस्तो
is not
मलाई
gonna
यसको
be the best
गेम
case
प्ले देखेर क्या
scenario
त्यो
onto the
सिन्थेसिस थियो नि
bot
हाम्रो
lane though. I think we're gonna
अँ
dying. Might be onto
त्यस्तै याद
something
आउँछ
here.
क्या एक्लैकै अब छजनाको पिछा गइदिने
something indeed, giving Julius
पुरा
his
खेलिदिन्थ्यो
front
मान्छे नि
spot. Big
Yeah.
mistake, no matter how good you are. Zonigon gonna be taken out very low. Crisis not
भाइले योभन्दा
wanting
हल्का
to
अगाडि
waste
नै
his
होला
flicker right here. Will play it out
ए
safe
सकिसक्यो त
still.
यार यति गेम सकिसक्यो तेरो 7 मिनट साउन्ड एकछिन अफ हान्दैन केटा हो 7 मिनट छ 7 मिनट अब के गर्ने त गेम हेर्ने र सेकेन्ड गेम पनि जुत्सु र तिनीहरूको राम्रो हुँदैन जस्तो लाग्यो जुत्सु र नक्टुराको त्यस्तो राम्रो हुँदैन जस्तो लाग्यो
एक रोल हान्यो क्या
एक ब्रल हामी भ्याउनु हान्नुपर्छ जस्तो एक ब्रल
ड्राफ्ट हेरौँ ड्राफ्ट राम्रो छैन भने किन हेर्ने
हुन्छ हुन्छ हल्का फर्स्ट वान साइड नै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो Wait guys, म यसो फोनमा स्विच गर्छु एकछिन। मेरो फेरि स्क्रिन त्यो भएको छैन। एकछिन है त। म नै चलेको छैन अब मेरो फेरि बेला बेला यस्तै हुन्छ कि फेरि त्यही झगडा।
एउटा नेम चेन्ज कार्ड पठाउनु भयो
डायमन्ड 300 छ यार दाइ मेरो।
पुगिहाल्छ नि 300
डायमन्ड आउँछ काम छिटै।
ए
के हो
युट्युबबाट नि आउँछ केएलबाट
होइन केएल चाहिँ गर्नु पर्ने त नेपालमा फाइन्सलाई केएल होइन। के हो मेरो स्क्रिन मिररिङ भएन यार छुट। यस्तै हुन्छ कि बेला बेला। वेट गाइस वेट। के भयो? सर सर टिम कोडिदिएर हामीलाई नि खेलाउनु केटा मेरो त उति लोडै भएन क्या यार। लोडै भएन यार भएन त खेल्नै पाउँदैन होला। मेरो स्क्रिन मिररिङ एपै चलेन क्या।
त्यो चाइनिज एप हो
डोमन भन्ने कुन एप थाहा नै छैन।
चाइनिज
हुँदैन त्यसो त खेल्नै मिल्दैन। यो स्ट्रिम अफै गर्नुपर्छ चल्नु कस्तो चाउ एकचोटि रिस्टार्ट नै गर्नुपर्ने। ल्यापटप रिस्टार्ट गऱ्यो भने अनि चान्स फेरि के भएको हो कि यो बक्स
डाइरेक्टली ओबिएसबाट मिल्दैन र
स्क्रिन मिररिङ गर्नुपर्छ नि त फोनसँग।
त्यो त स्प्लिटर
स्मुथ चाहिनको लागि त्यही एप यो डाउन पनि पेड एप हो स्क्रिन मिररिङ गर्न। अझ एकछिन कुरुम नै होला है मेरो त चलेन यार।
ठिक छ किन उ गर्नु पर्यो त यो त स्ट्रिममा त त्यही राखेको अहिले नि ड्राफ्ट हेर्ने खेल्यो भने निको
यही स्ट्रिममा के ठिकै छ एकछिन कुरुम न चल्छ कि पछि यत्तिकै राखिदिइरहेको
ठिक छ एउटा हान्दै गर्छु म त्यसमा
कमेन्टहरू पढ्नुपर्छ। केटा एकछिन चलेन यार मेरो डोमो नै स्क्रिन मिररिङ गर्ने एप नै चलेन। गेम सकेपछि ऱ्याङ्क हान मास्टर मेबी स्ट्रिमिङ हानेर हान्नुपर्छ होला ऱ्याङ्क त। ऱ्याङ्क हान्ने सोचिरहेको थिएँ मेरो तर बट स्क्रिन मिररिङै चलेको छैन मेरो। लाइक अब त बब जस्तो अरे बब जस्तो अरे होइन होला बब जस्तो। 2 मिनट्स गरौँ 2 मिनट्स होइन। इन गरेर आउनु अरे इन गरेर फेरि मिनट्समा हुन्छ होला त। स्ट्रिम इन हुन्छ क्या मैले लाइक स्ट्रिम इन हुन्छ कि मैले रिस्टार्ट गरेँ भने त्यही जग्गा क्या स्ट्रिम इन गर्ने हुन्छ।
अहिले लुनक्स फेरि अफ मेटा भएको हो र
लुनक्स ठिकै छ एभरेज भनौँ न।
कता मिडमा कि गोल्डमा
मिडमा गोलमा त खेलाउँदैन।
अनि हारित चाहिँ के भयो हारित
हेरी त राम्रै छ अहिले फाइटर खेलिरहेको छ कि गोलमा धेरै त्यही भएर नि। क्लड हेरी त चलिरहन्छ क्लड हेरी क्यारी त गोल्डमा। Wait, guys. अहँ। ओए 9 मिनेट बढाएर फेरि रोक है केटा म फेरि रिस्ट्रिममै हान्छु त केटा म स्ट्रिमिङ गरेर फेरि स्ट्रिम स्टार्ट गर्छु है त अनि ऱ्याङ्क खेल्नुपर्छ हामी अँ गाइज 2 मिनेट स्ट्रिमिङ गरेर आउँछु म